Hey everybody, welcome to episode 12. Only one more to go after tonight for Ethauntia Superstitions Season 2. We started in Pathfinder, switched to Dragonbane, and I think we found the final home for the setting. Tonight we are doing Creeping Death as our group goes in to the Titan Spine mountain range on the Iron Peak Highway, a forgotten passage long lost to time and the sundering. I hope you guys are all ready. Tonight is going to get into some of the creepiest, worst cryptids we've had yet this season, combined with some old Nodarian lore for my cast members. And of course, we kept good old main-filled Diratar. Adam has joined us tonight as a guest star. We'll be kicking this off in about 9 minutes. Get yourself something to drink. Get your Streamloot cards ready. If you are not a subscriber, I recommend doing so. You get 2 free packs a month for whatever show is currently going on. Right now, it is for our Monday show, Breachers, since we have a decent amount of cards, but not enough for that show because they spent almost all of them yesterday. See you guys in a little bit. Get ready for a little bit of Creeping Death. All right, everybody. Everybody, welcome to the show. It is, I can't believe this season's almost done, everybody. We are about ready to dive into the mountains, and a part of this strikes a really deep chord for myself, and I think Drew, because the Iron Peak mountain range is actually a dear friend of ours who played a dwarf for 2 college years, right? Roughly, Drew? 3 college years. He played Iron Peak. He is what this mountain range is based around, and he's kind of become a folklore or fabled legend within my old setting, Nodaria, and Ethauntia, which is built on top of Nodaria. Think of it like the falling of a world. So tonight we're going to be going down a little bit of nostalgia lane, along with some new stuff that I know once my party realizes what's going on, they're probably going to try to flee the tunnels. But we'll fucking see.
Ooh, dear boy. Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm muted. Okay. There we go. Okay. You can hear us now. Yeah. What do you look like?
So, Fallred, this creature that is walking with everybody. You see this visage of a man with armor on and very like long hair. very very muscular as well too. Very 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 muscular, and this nice little goatee. But then as it starts to segue, it's almost like very sinewy. As the torso of the man connects to the body of a deer, and
Yeah.
I mean, full. I mean, it's essentially what are we calling me? A deer tar?
I mean, I think they're actually called Elentar, I think is the proper term for him, but you can call him whatever you want.
We're gonna be an Ellen deer tar.
Ellen
Sure,
Ellen
we'll add-
is the definition for it. But anyway.
Elemendarian. I love that.
Elemendarian? Okay.
Elemendarian Ethauntia.
Yeah, you can just keep making up words now. Okay.
He's very much kind of set up as a warrior because he's part of this army. And he has the look of expression as a deer caught in headlights.
And would you say you're kind of teenager age now?
Yeah. I would say very teenagery.
Okay. So we parked our Winter Strider, given to our cast by the Queen of the Winter Court. We have found out that is actually Maria's mom. And Maria left a letter for everybody after the chaos that has happened, because when they came out of their situation, they realized time had changed. That this woman who had asked for a soul in trade is what is known as a chronomancer, which are rare. And her kind of Santa Clausing her way through Moldavia changed time in the space and the things in the go. And when they came back, Maria wasn't there. There's a letter left behind. And that letter inside had a picture of the carriage. So let me get the cast here. Wrong one. One more. There we go. When you're standing outside of this entrance to the mountain, there is a cold breeze that comes out. It is colder than normal. Like, significantly colder than it should be. We're in the equivalent to October right now. And it feels like end of November, December, standing in front of this opening into the mountain range. The group has seen a bunch of broken antlers, hoof prints, bipedal and quadruped, and they look like they are fleeing or they paced around the entrance to this place. What does the party want to do with the information that they have? And then for the audience members who said that the collection's not up, please refresh. It should be running now. It's on a timer, and it just goes on once the intro hits. A lot of times it's late, so check it again. It should work now. What does the party want to do? The frozen carriage is behind you. You've parked it. The Strider's kind of tucked its legs in and sat down. You're nestled in the woods and in the entrance to this place. And there is also a lightning-struck tree, very similar to what we saw our deer centaur-looking creature do earlier, pointing the direction of where the Fawn Prince should be. Then we'll bring some people in.
I mean, I think Georgia would like to go ahead and kind of probably check out that tree.
Okay, so you're gonna go over to the tree.
Identify what kind of tree it is, and if there's a pattern.
No pattern. It is the largest tree you're guessing in the area based on the size of the trunk. No really roll on that. Here it is pine. There's a lot of pine through this area. That's the majority of the trees in this area. It was definitely struck by lightning. It looks just like what he did. It is still warm to the touch.
Okay.
That would be maybe an element of time. That I would have to have you roll for, but just looking at it, you can kind of tell it's recent enough to be warm.
Yeah. I'd roll for it. Yeah.
All right. Just a regular roll. What skill are you thinking?
Probably bushcraft.
Sure. Yeah, makes sense to me. No banes or anything. Just a regular roll.
Okay, and that is a 17 plus. Wait, shit. Yeah, no, it has to get close.
Wrong game, girl.
Yeah,
you're not a mushroom anymore.
17 over 12.
Okay, so you have no idea how long ago it was. With that said, what is everybody else doing?
I feel like Falrid would be on guard at least.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, all these other tracks and everything. He'd definitely be scoping out the woods and around the cave.
Okay.
Seeing if he can see farther into it, which is
funny you mentioned that. You don't see anything other than like a winding tunnel that goes in. There is two kind of buried in dirt, old. You do see two metal rails that go in. Our dwarven companions and anyone who's like used to the Victorian time frame, it looks like it's a mine cart, or in really nice cities, the equivalent to like a not a gondola, tram. Not tram though. No. The ones that like fucking San Francisco. What the fuck are they called?
Trolley.
Thank you, trolley. Like trolley trucks. But you would know they would be minecart. They're pretty narrow, and there's a second set that's wider for bigger ones that would be brought out here. You're guessing to deliver, trade goods on the highway, and so on. But you do sense the fawn prints further into the mountain.
In the mountain?
Into the mountain. Yeah, I'll keep that in the back of my mind as I'm just at least perceiving.
Anybody else? This is where you were headed to because of his instincts of where the Fawn Prince was, and yet again, there's a burnt tree. I mean, you're definitely going the right direction.
So, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
So he senses him further in. You sense him in further into the mountain, but there's no tracks leading in.
It looks like a lot of them come out of it. There's no snow. It's just muddy and dirty here. Inside, it's rock. You would have to take a roll to really check it, or go into the cave some to kind of see if anyone's walked through here.
I'll do that. I'll do a hunting and fishing track.
All right.
Made it. 14 under 15.
Inside, along the rail lines, there are a bunch of torches that light up as soon as you cross the threshold. And they just slowly, all the way down to a large cast iron grate, probably I would say 100 meters in. There is some cracks in here because this is like the edge of the mountain where some light comes through, but it is covered in ice. And that cold wind picks up again, and it is fucking frosty. Traveling in here long term, you would know as someone who's traveled in the plateaus, you're going to need winter clothes. You're probably going to want to bring your winter tents and stuff provided by the audience, or you're going to freeze to death.
I'm going to cast a spell.
Yeah, what would you like to cast?
It's a little magic trick called Heat or Chill. So I'm going to heat the area within 10 meters around me for the next shift.
Okay.
We are protected against cold.
Okay.
Eat or chill?
Yeah, it makes like a little warm area around them. How
make the area warmer or make it colder? It just protects us.
With magic tricks, because audience may not know, do you roll to cast these?
Not for magic tricks. They're like cantrips in other games. They're like the low level. They cost me 1 willpower, and they happen automatically.
A whole shift, though, is pretty nice for that fucking spell. I'm not going to lie. Well, with that, as the light lights up, the camera fades and moves us to Maria. Maria, you have been with the curator painting.
Yes.
And the curator said this is not something we can do here. We need to go to my studio. I have a place that we can go paint. And she uncovers a painting she has that's a very tall, almost like a full-length mirror. When she pulls it off, and it is a narrow hall, and it looks like the door that enters the curator's place inside the darkest house. She tells you, no, do not worry. The museum, the gallery, was pulled from my home. We aren't going to the darkest house. We're going to my home. I just don't want you to be worried about all of this. And she touches the brush to the doorknob and runs it around it, and it lights up, and she grabs the knob, and it like materializes, like forms and paints into her hand. She opens it and opens the door. Okay. And sure enough, you're back in the gallery, but it's clean, it's well carpeted, it smells of like sandalwood and a little bit of sage. There is art all over the place. There are pieces hanging from the ceiling, and she kind of makes her way through. She takes her mask back off, and she sets up the easels over the time that you're there to help you paint this. Okay. What was your goal on what you wanted to paint? Do you want the audience to know, or do you want it for yourself?
Ooh, I'll just say Maria is trying to do two family portraits. Two family portraits.
The curator would say, are these things that you want to have work forever or only once? If you want them to work forever, you must invest yourself into them. If you want them to just work once, you can put a part of yourself into them. And then once they are used, you will get that piece of yourself back. And she starts lining up paints, and she starts mixing stuff on a palette and like looking at you mixing palette stuff and getting oils together for you to paint.
I think based on what I was originally trying to do, it may not work unless I invest part of myself into it. So,
I mean, do you want it to be a permanent where you lose a willpower forever? Or do you want it to be temporary so that once you use it, you get the willpower back? That's essentially what she's telling you. That's the mechanics behind it.
Right. But because of what I wanted to do, I'm not quite sure how that
It can be temporary. So. It's just, do you want to be able to use it more than once? Does that matter? Is this something you need to activate over and over and over and make it a permanent magical item? Or is it going to be more like Georgia's talismans that once she makes them, someone uses them, willpower comes back? I'm fine with either or. I'm just giving you the option in case there's something you want to make it do forever, which, fuck if I know what that's going to be.
You know what? Yeah, I'll invest the willpower for each one.
No, just for the pair. It's just one for the pair. Because I'm assuming...
one for the pair?
Yeah, because this is like a unit that does something.
Yeah.
So you spend time here painting. It goes by fairly quick. She helps you do this. She will paint what is needed as the last coat to make it permanent and have you invest yourself into it. That could be through blood, through part of your soul, which is very common in Ethauntia. What are the two paintings that the audience sees, or are they not going to see the paintings and you're just going to be, is it a camera facing from the back and you two talking as you're painting them? Like, do you want them to know what they are and what's on them?
Well, they can know what's on them.
Okay.
There's two large family portraits, and they're roughly the same size. One of them is Maria standing by the side of her queen.
Okay.
And then a male half-elf courtesan in the background. And then the other one is Maria. And I want to say that in these, she's the same age.
Okay.
So she's a little younger.
Your choice.
And there's, because it's an older human gentleman with a black beard streaked with gray, green eyes, dinged up armor, a little bit of rust in there. And then with, like, he's standing next to her, and then in the background there's a younger human woman who looks to be the older man's daughter, and she doesn't look very pleased with like being in this picture.
Okay. All right, so you make one big kind of family portrait piece. I'm just taking a note roughly on the idea behind them. After they're done, you lose 1 permanent willpower point. We can decide what you want these to do whenever you decide to use them on camera or in between shows. She will wrap them carefully with linen and make sure that they are done well. And then, like I said, during the show, you do have a letter with a mini painting of the inside of the carriage that just has a temporary willpower invested. Took time to craft it, but you can use it to activate and make your way back to the carriage. Okay. I do need a craft roll on that, though, for both of them. Okay. The one you want to make, I would say, probably a Bane, because it's pretty dangerous, but she will assist you to wash it away. And then the other one's just a regular roll.
Okay.
I can give you... Do we have anything I can give you a bonus with? Are you spending some monster parts to make these? That was the other question I had for you. To like make the frame, the canvas, things like that, to make their magical properties a little better.
Yeah, I would like to...
We have plenty of level 3s, so let's take a level 3 for each of the big paintings that you're doing to like make the canvas, make the frames. And then for the one to go back and forth, we'll just use a monster part level 1 because it's a one-use item that takes you to a specific location, and they take like a day to craft. So we'll do Serving Hands Alley, Serving Hands, and Stardrew for all those parts. So 2 3s and 2 1s. You can decide what they're going to look like for next time they're on camera. The curator does ask as we kind of close the scene as she wraps up and gives them to you to take back with you through the painting. She says, you are quite talented as a painter. These paintings make me feel, though, that your family definitely wanted something else from you. I'll be truthful. I don't understand how that never works. Where I'm originally from, I didn't even have these fine scales under my skin. I didn't have this ability to throw my voice long distances. Are these paintings... How would I say this? Are these paintings in your family something that other people are afraid of? Your mother seems, from your description, like a queen somewhere, but I've never heard of king or queens from anybody that visits the outpost.
Well, I was supposed to be part of a different plan with my mother.
She wanted you to stay there and work, I assume, of some form? Every family member wants you to be part of the family business. I think that is the same everywhere you are.
She wanted me to work in the shadows, but yes, she wanted me to work in the family business.
Ah, like an art thief.
Something like that.
Well then, I'm glad you've chosen a different life. You are quite talented. And she wraps him and hands him to you, and she goes, I'm going to stay here for a few days. And you realize that she's left, and she's not been at the outpost numerous times. You know where she goes now. She comes back to her gallery to paint and do things.
Okay.
So you open up the letter, and I'm assuming you're going to head back to our group?
Yes.
All right.
I got a 2 and a 13 for the 2 craft checks.
All right, 2 and a 13. Both under your craft, I assume?
Yeah, because my craft, it's hard to read on here, but my craft is a 15.
Yeah, gotta love that font. So, yeah, I know, it's a doozy. So as you open up the letter you have, and kind of put your hand on the painting, inside the carriage, which no one's there, the camera kind of shifts to the opposite window of the party. Like if you were looking through the carriage and the drapes were both open. And you start filling out one of the seats as a painting, holding onto your 2 canvases. They're large. I mean, they're big.
Yeah.
And it suddenly becomes materialized as you become a person inside the carriage. Outside the window, the scene I described when we started the show is exactly what Maria sees. There is a fucking deer quadruped with the party, entrance of a weird cave like you see on the screen, Regdor in it, kind of checking the ground for stuff. You see that his sister is a full skeleton now. I don't think that does. I don't think Maria saw all of that happen.
No.
Did she? Yeah. So she has no skin at all anymore. And then it is. There's like a warming kind of light around Burke. I'm assuming Burke is with Regdor, kind of keeping him warm inside while he's searching. As the carriage opens for you, all you have to do is ask it because you speak. I'm assuming the high language of the courts.
Yes.
And it just opens for you. The stairs kind of unfurl out. And I will bring you back to the party. There we are. There's everybody. This is the first time I think we've had this many people on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hopefully it doesn't get too choppy. That it does its thing. Doesn't explode in our face. Let's see.
See, like it's working.
Yeah,
Right.
Todd's gonna fuck with me right now to make me feel like the entire show is fucked. Thanks, Todd. Thank you so much. I'm not paranoid, but I hate technology when it doesn't work for me.
So
So-
as I was saying, this spell seems to work fine, but we should probably get the tents and everything. Oh, hi, Maria.
Oh,
And like I've got like probably like a handkerchief, and I'm just wiping some oil off my.
Yeah, there's like
fingertips.
paint on you. Put your gloves on.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
With that, everybody is outside of this cave to go into. What exactly did you get on your check to track and see what is in this cave, Regdor?
I got a 14 under 15 to look at the tracks and stuff. If you want another one, I missed that. I can roll again.
14 under 15. No, 14 under 15 is fine. That's enough. There are tracks that go in. They quickly, and you can see the 100 meters to the gate, they quickly peter off. And it's only a couple sets of tracks.
What do you mean peter off? Like they just disappear?
Yep.
Great.
There are some that run back the other way. There are broken antlers. On each side, deeper in, you can see there are entrances. You would know when you enter a highway or one of these points where a lot of trade would happen, the dwarves set up shops and like pre-sundering. And these are areas where people from the surface could come and trade. And the gate in the end is the checkpoint to go into the highway.
This is like the farmer's market outside the farm.
It's the farmer's, yeah. What would a farmer's market be called for miners?
Uh,
The metal market?
what's
Promenti
what's the
Bros.
na- Right.
What
What's the
did you
name of
say?
company store.
Said Promenti Bros.
Jesus Christ.
Deep Rose. Wait, what's the name of the place where you can like go and pay money and then just like pick up rocks and people find diamonds and shit?
So water?
Yeah, right.
Prospecting.
It's definitely more of a bazaar or a market for selling.
Panning.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not panhandling.
A panning
No,
bazaar.
panning.
God. Audience, if you got
I'm
ideas,
assuming-
let me know.
I'm assuming that's what these
The buildings on the side.
ways.
Yep. You got it.
This doesn't look good.
AW wants to see your MS paintings, Maria.
Okay.
We got a bunch of sets of tracks. Some run back this way, some just fucking disappear. As he starts to look up into the cavern.
Do you have light? You gonna light your lantern? There's some sunlight at the end, but it's pretty dark in here. There are torches, but it doesn't cover the ceiling. It's too tall.
The Burke, as always, is going to be looking above him when he enters the place. He's done it since he's arrived.
Okay. Can I get awareness rolls from you both? At one bane, because it is pretty dark in here, even with the torchlight.
Ah, damn it.
With the Bane, a 7.
7.
Under 13.
Okay.
With the Bane, a 19.
Well, that's not good enough. With the 7, You do notice this place is full of bats, and they are actually like frozen to the roof of this place, to the ceiling, like hanging. And you thought they were just stalactites or icicles at the top. They are creatures frozen.
Came in a lot faster than. Wait a minute.
Again, we are in Hollows, which is the equivalent to October.
What's it smell like in here?
Not
that I have scent or anything,
crisp,
but like
crispy, a little bit of the burn of the fire is poking through in the flames, and the smell of like sulfur. The sulfur smells very minor. You're guessing maybe from the torches, like whatever they're burning.
Okay. I think I'm gonna. Yeah, I don't. This feels like a trap. Looking at the footprints on the ground, I feel like we're walking into a trap.
We traveled 10 days last episode, correct?
Was it 10?
Mm-hmm. It's supposed to be 2 weeks, so you
like
guys cut
that's
time
right.
off.
Oh, that's right, because of the.
We are on the 29th of Hollows, just so you guys have a date.
Hollows. Check.
Go ahead.
I'm just going to ask.
Yeah, you haven't been here. Ask away.
I'm gonna go up to Burke because George is sporting a new look, and Redgar is hanging out with a potential soldier of the Spring Army.
My defense, I'm standing next to Burke.
In my defense, I'm like 3 meters in with Burke, nowhere near the
Nowhere
deer tar.
near-
Okay. I step forward and like I finish wiping up the oil. Paint. Excuse me. And I go to Burke. I'm like, Burke and Redgar, I suppose. I'm like, why are we traveling? Basically what I just said. Like, why are we traveling with someone who may be in the employ of the Fawn Prince?
So, funny
Oh,
story.
right. Yeah, you haven't been here for a few. Go ahead.
A Mancer who can control time protected our outpost from cryptids. For the next year, they cannot enter. A loophole to that is if they are birthed in there. 2 hunters dragged in an overly pregnant deer. It birthed this person. And we've sort of been dealing with him as he's aged very rapidly over the last few days.
Hey, he's
There's
been
some
maturing.
vines growing in the kitchen that are pretty much taking over. That's part of his whole deal. The weapons and armor he's wearing and carrying are grew with him out of these vines. He can shoot arrows that cause lightning strikes, and that helps him find where the Fawn Prince is. And he is supposed to be meeting up with the army, and we've been tracking in this direction from our base ever since then. Georgia fully embraced her Osarian transformation, mostly by ignoring it, by doing other things. And then I was able to pilot the what's the vehicle called again?
The Winter Strider?
The Winter Strider. I was able to pilot the Winter Strider. I had no idea Elvin would come in so handy, but I'm glad I learned it out in the field. And that kind of brings you up to date, I guess.
Kind of brings her
Where
up
have you
to
been?
date.
What have you up to?
I
How are you? We're all fine down here. How are you?
Fucking amazing.
okay.
Hey, you missed a lot. Are you all right? Where have you been?
Painting.
painting?
Painting portraits.
I mean, a little rest of relaxation never hurt anyone, so that's great. Good.
It
Glad-
wasn't rest and relaxation.
Oh,
I was inspired by how the curator was able to paint the true form of your friend.
oh.
And I haven't had a chance to look at them because I came here right away, but I'm hoping that by having her help me paint both sides of my family, I can figure out what was taken from me when we went through the darkest house.
So less like Bob Ross, more like that guy who screams when he does the painting on the canvas.
Yes,
Really
exactly.
letting it all out.
Yeah, yeah. Is it safe to assume that Georgia and Bullrid are together at the tree stump? Okay.
Let's
Yeah,
Bob
I
Ross
would
more
say I
show
probably
show.
wandered that way for sure, just to get a sense of if this feels familiar as well too.
Okay.
I mean, outside of obviously me being able to do that, but does it? I guess it feel familiar in any energy or feeling I might have had when I created that lightning bolt?
It's a very good question. Let's go to the two of you.
Go, skeleton walking to
Whoop.
the bar.
Let's bring Allie in here with her crazy skull face. Hi, skull face. Everyone wants to know if you're a ghost writer, and I want to remind everybody, remember she woke up and all of her skin came off? Because she forgot to research about herself because she was so worried about everyone else. Yeah, that's why.
I'm
So
a very caring person.
very caring dwarf, very caring Asarian now, because she is full Asarian, which is the skeletal kin in Ethauntia. That's a different story for another time. But she's a full dwarven skeleton, which is rare for Asarians. Asarians are usually a mix of them. But if you guys are both at the tree looking at it, you don't know how long ago it is. When you walk up, I can tell you there is a spark of like growth in knowledge for Fulrid, where you know that these are indicators of like checkpoints for the army to move to.
Right.
And this is less than a day old.
Okay.
Like the last 3 shifts, I would say. Shifts again there's 4 in a day, so on. If you want to know more information, you'd have to make a roll for me, Fulrid.
Yeah. I'll make a roll for that. I mean, especially if this is feeling familiarity. This is going to be Fawn Army, I take it, since this is a checkpoint.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled a 2.
You know, if you were to try to activate this, there is a message that's left behind, usually by whoever did it.
Hmm.
Right. I would I would look next to me at the skeleton and be like, you might want to stand back a little bit. I think this can be activated in the way, and I don't want it to accidentally hurt you at all.
I feel like Georgia like has her hand on the bark of the tree, like
Mhm.
started to be burnt away, and just immediately takes it off and goes, I appreciate the warning. Do you know exactly trying to get into this accent? Oh, fuck.
It's hard to do with the skull on. You can't see your lips. Drew, you're in the
Oh, no.
background. Get that accent for her really quick. We need a primer. Primer. There we go. No one can hear him, but it's great.
Look,
There you go.
I've been a skull for like 8 different sessions at this point. This is not a new thing. The rest of the flesh, yes, but yeah, I look. I looked into it. It'll be fine. It's just cosmetic. It's cosmetic.
But regardless,
think
I
you
think you
understand
should
what
still
that
back
means.
up. I don't want your cosmetics to get messed up by whatever
Yes,
this stream might
thank
do.
you, Falred.
As they're
I
yelling
do
at each
appreciate
other
that.
from through the opening
Yep.
of the door.
So back to the three of them, or the two of them, you fucking monsters. Can I get a language roll from you? Forward, if you want to try to activate this, it's a language roll. Which means if you don't have the skill, it's the base number that we talked about.
All right.
She can assist you if she wants to help. That's a boon to your roll.
Right.
Absolutely.
I would. Well, you're one that does the magics, right?
I am, yes.
So
Are you
I've got my
interested
spear,
in
and I put
learning?
my spear like close to you, and I'm just like, can you? I don't know if transfer magics or anything, but perhaps you might be able to help me jog it a little bit. And he just kind of pushes the spear towards you, but if you could just, I guess, hold on to that, maybe that'll help.
Georgia reaches out to the spear as well.
Okay. Ooh, a new cryptozoologist.
And he closes his eyes and he makes a fist and like pushes his face onto the tree and starts to like turn it as well too. And you hear him start chanting. You said it a boon. That is a 6 under my 7.
607 is good. The words that are spoken are in a language you understand, very similar to the dreamscape you were in, and it says, with warning, while this cave holds our destination, only our strongest warriors shall go. If you are not one of them, protect the surrounding woods.
Strongest war. As I'm saying that, I feel like I would also be repeating it as well too.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I feel like to him, trying to understand what it's saying, he'd be speaking it out loud. He doesn't know about magics or anything else, so she would be able to hear him as well. Georgia could hear him reciting it.
Wait, I'm sorry. What was that?
And then I say it in our common tongue.
Sure.
Then I would repeat it back to her. The warmth and all other fun things that I can't remember what was said, but were said prior about 5 minutes ago.
First off, it's been less than 5 minutes, and this guy already doesn't remember what I'm saying. Well, this guy guest star today? What the fuck is going on here? I said, and I quote, I'll make this the Cliff Note version for you. If you're not strong enough, don't go in. Protect the forest. That's the Cliff Note version. Is that help you? Is that an easier?
So essentially, what Tate was saying was either if you're strong enough, warriors can go inside, but if you're not, to stay here and protect the opening. That could essentially mean I did have a dream, and he's like just talking to you too, like not like preaching to you at all. He's just like this teenager just speaking aloud. He's like, I had a dream the other night, and I think I saw the phone print, and it was about an army, and he was making people like me stronger.
I'm sorry. How exactly was he making them stronger?
He was doing it because they wanted to be part of the army. And
Yes, but how? Was it at a cost, or?
I don't know. It was a dream. I don't know if what I saw would really be real or not. That's what it seemed like. And,
I'll tell you, if there's one thing that I've realized recently, it's that dreams are a bit more. Well, we should probably talk about that at some point. It can be a little bit more than what shit that was last season.
Now, between the two of you, I will tell you, there is definitely a leftover magical essence in this stump that has been struck by lightning. It feels like something you can reach out and touch. Like, almost like, for you as an Assyrian, it reminds you similar to how ley lines function, but this is not a ley line. But it has a similar feel, like your bones get a little bit of like a rattle, like it's that chill you feel like as a living person in your bones when the wind hits you just right. But there's just this little spark of magical essence left in the tree. I will tell you there is something to activate if you want to do that, but I'll say your rolls so far have not identified what that is other than the message that was played. The message goes away. You can feel the energy building back up for the message again to be reactivated by somebody else, but there is something else here.
Eric, can I roll animism or occult?
At planes is actually what I would need. Realms, I should say. Realms is what I would need. Now, there are other party members that have that, as a reminder.
Right.
Because I believe Burke has it, and I think Maria has realms as well.
I think
no,
that,
just Burke.
Yeah. Georgia would kind of like you see her kind of reach out, like she's like kind of wanting to touch it, pulls her hand back, and she is gonna turn and just be like, "Hey, Burke, you ever seen something like this before?"
Are you
knowing
calling
he's from a
Burke?
different school of magic.
They're in the thing,
Yeah.
so I will bring the party on. Whoop! There we are. Burke, you hear Georgia calling for you while you're in the cave, looking at frozen bats on the ceiling. Maria is kind of at the opening with you. So that three part of the party is there. And you see the centaur, the deertar, the elotar, and her at this blown up tree trunk.
So
Better take this call.
I was there for the mayor showing up and giving her the spirit of a keeper who shall not be named right now. I was also there for them dragging in that creature.
Yep.
Why is that still alive?
Why didn't you fucking kill it? It's our job.
Well, you see, when there's a
He's been
druid
helping us find
involved
him.
who has a very big heart inside that exposed ribcage, they tend to adopt quickly.
That
She-
cloth
is
covered
she-
ribcage.
Is she still even a druid?
Don't know. I'll go find out. I'm gonna
You
go
know, that's
to
a fine question.
Jordan.
I will say, yeah, he has been helping us track down the prince. Also, he's had a chance to join him twice now, and he hasn't because we've been kind to him. Because he doesn't want anything to happen to us.
Even after killing deer and
Yeah, even after I went
stripping him.
hunting and brought back a deer, like,
Fascinating study in nature versus nurture.
fascinating. Holy discovery, we got a show for you.
oh my
All right.
god. Then watch Nova. So that's why he's here. I can introduce you if you like.
Maybe once they're done with that tree.
Centaur of attention. to History Channel.
Oh my.
Coming to Discovery
God.
Plus.
Disney would be so proud that Bambi lived.
Don't fuck with Bambi.
Bambi's mom.
We did not talk about baby's mom like that. That's weird.
Man, I don't know why you got some static poppy on your end today, Adam.
You.
Yeah, it's really
It's that
poppy.
mane.
Appearance from the hair.
Is it the
sorry, my
main?
hair's in the way. Yeah, I think it's the main.
The main hits your. It doesn't hit the microphone. That doesn't make any sense.
I was just saying, you're
I've
not
got,
wearing a lot.
I've got some beads in here as well too. As I was growing, collecting around the house and everything.
You're just a fucking static field now. Great. So if you are going to walk over, Burke, they're talking about how there's a magical resonance left in this tree. You're welcome to make a realms roll.
Oh,
As Burke walks away, I'll kind of follow him just so I stay within the worm.
I will tell you the last thing, Drew, is Regdur is walking away. You hear hammer on anvil in the tunnels deep. It's like and it's just like a small sound coming through the tunnels on the wind.
Like from the gate or like from one of the sides?
Deep into the tunnels. With that said, give me your realm roll, bud.
I got a 10 under 13.
You've seen things like this before. When they are magically charged, they can be activated to tear the veil to travel somewhere. It's very similar to how you would get out of a realm.
I will tell that to Georgia.
With that said, if anyone wants to use a tear in the veil, you can open this with no roll. It does only stay open for a little bit. It closes on its own. It's not like a thing that locks open, but it is something where you could peer into it and open it and see where the fuck it goes.
I don't know if we should necessarily be hopping around like that right now.
What does that mean, tearing the veil?
Now you're using caution? Great.
I assume that means you're helping us now.
Who, me?
Yes.
When have I not helped you?
Oh, we called over Burke, and I was just saying, I guess that I assume that means you're also helping us.
I'm staying within 10 feet of him so I don't freeze my nuts off.
It's not as cold out here. It's only in the tunnel.
Yeah, but I was in the tunnel when he left.
I was hoping he'd leave your ass there. I was like, you pitching a tent? You got one for warmth.
Either way, I don't know if we should necessarily be, trying to pop in through tears in time and space right now. We made a journey out here to this specific destination, so
Stardrew says, they say that George is right. Let's not open portals right now. Keep looking. I mean, if you want to...
As if time and space and portals happening around us and being fucked off haven't been part of the show every goddamn episode.
Or at least the last couple.
Okay, well, look, would you rather go into the spooky cave with the blood raining down or whatever, or...
There's no blood, it's ice in here. There's no blood.
Oh, I might be on...
Turn off the tactical map.
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay.
I know that your vision is tunneled,
we're not we're not there yet.
Yeah, we're not there yet.
Tactical is not on right now.
I don't think we're there yet.
Okay, that's where I thought we were. That's my B.
Glimpse into a near future, I'm sure.
Okay, well then...
I've only described this tunnel like 8 times, but
It's okay, now there's
I saw one thing that was the most concerning.
Yeah, you should.
And you said...
It is concerning!
If it's on the map... If it's on the map, it's on the map. That's why I was like, are we just looking past this part? Are we just gonna go pop into the tree for hide and seek in the Feywild? Or the Never?
No, Allie.
Come on.
Allie, it's because you're the only one who was looking at that. We are not there yet. You've traveled to make-believe land on your own. We're in a different make-believe land around a burning tree. She's like having visions of the horrors.
She's shining ahead to later in the episode.
Is that... Oh, God. Does that mean we have to go... Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Look, do you wanna go into the big, creepy cave, mines, gate?
No,
last time we were around here, it was not a great time. Or would you like to pop into the tree and play hide and seek in the Never? Those are your options.
We don't know what goes to the Never. It does open to a realm. It could be any realm. There is more than one.
It says
Burke knows all about it.
It says it
George is
opens
using hyperbole.
If it says it opens to a realm where the ones who are strong enough to serve the Fawn Prince should open it. Is that?
That's kind of what the message says. Yep.
And we're here trying to find the prince. Yes.
Yeah.
That's why we came
find
out
the
here.
prince, yes, but also we're trying to defend the gate.
I do feel feel like he is closer into the mountains. That way.
I did hear some hammering right before we walked out. It's ringing, echoing through the cabin.
What is the never, never? What, you keep talking about a tear in time and space. What is that?
Well, it's called the Never Never because you'd never want to go there.
So we don't want to activate the tree then.
I just
wouldn't
have
think
my cursor over the Tear in the Veil card, so you let me know when one of you is doing this or not.
That's something we want to add to the list of things to take care of soon. But right now, I think our other mission is more important.
Does anyone have the ability to kind of sense magic?
Unless we have to go somewhere.
Would you like
I
to sense
will.
magic on it?
Sense magic on it, yeah.
So, Stardew says, okay, there is 50,000 electric deers and a god in the portal thing. No promises. No promises. Totally okay, Allie.
Less than
It's
half
fucking
of what I had
hilarious.
hoped for.
If you'd like to use it, if you pull open, it costs you willpower, correct, to use your power?
Yeah, it's a trick. It
Okay.
costs 1 willpower.
All right.
No roll.
All right.
Sense magic. You can sense whether the place you're in or an item you're holding is affected by magic, and if so, what kind of magic. So I'm looking at this tree where they say that there's this potential portal.
You would know immediately. It would go to the battlefield where spring and fall fight.
Okay.
More than likely, he summoned people at this tree and brought them out. That's your guess. And if you were to open it, you could go to the battlefield. That would be your guess.
Right. So I share that with the group. I'm like, this portal leads to the battlefield between spring and fall. And
Oh.
if we were to open it, we would probably end up on that battlefield. So if we think that the Fawn Prince is there, we might want to reconsider our stance on opening it.
What exactly are we gonna do when we find him, by the way? Because when he showed up, he talked,
Some good cards.
and I lost a lot of my will to live. Literally, like, fucker to put me at half health. So, I'm just curious if there's a plan, because I would love that.
Yeah, what are we gonna use?
I feel like the only plan we really have is to
I beat Todd to the
be
punch this time.
faster than him.
I mean, it's up to you. Now that hammering, when the wind blows again out of the tunnel, everyone can hear it out here. It's very faint, but you can hear the hammering.
Well, that's that sound again. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like to, before we go either way, I'd like to check these alcoves real quick and see if there's nothing we can use inside. If this was
Absolutely.
a bazaar, there might have been something left behind. Although the frozen bats on the ceiling do give me a little bit of pause.
Wait, what?
There's
And
frozen
Georgia's gonna go
bats
take a look.
in the ceiling in the cavern. Yeah, he's just. Now, mind you, I used to live in Chicago, and I know what flash freeze feels like.
It's true, I do too.
Chicago. Where is that at? What realm is
I
that
think
in?
that's a different.
Stop helping the young deer. Jesus Christ. So are we all going? Is the goal to go in and search this area before the gate then? Is that what we want to do?
I think so, especially because if we're hearing some noise coming from in there, there might be people we want to warn, considering we've already identified that this area is a target for attack.
Sure. So, like, from side to side, you can see each other. If you go up to the different buildings, some doors are, like, busted open. Some are cracked. Some are, like, nailed shut with, like, kind of, like, castled. on the outside, but you can tell that it's shut somehow inside. Like they slide along the doors, and they look like they go all the way up to the top of the door to open them. If you grab it, they don't fucking move. So it must be like a barring mechanism on the inside. There are a few that are open. If you want to spend an hour or 4 stretches going through searching these, if everybody wants to make me a roll, we have some cards we can use as well. If everybody wants to make me a awareness roll or a spot hidden, your choice. Those are 2 different things. Spot hidden is looking for hidden items, things that are hidden, stuff like that. Awareness is just taking in the surroundings, what's there, kind of addressing what's going on. We do have aware cards. They work for both. And I can just give one to each person if you want to roll.
Sure.
You get a boon with aware card. Now, so I will say, if you're not carrying a light, your own light, or with somebody with a light, there's a bane.
Mm-hmm.
I know, obviously, that Regdor has his war lantern hanging and on. Is anybody else carrying light before we start making any rolls? You're gonna light a light. Do you have a torch? Is that what you're doing?
I mean, it's involuntary.
Head's on fire.
That is only like right around you. That doesn't count.
Okay.
Nice try.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and use a torch.
Okay, so you're gonna light a torch or lantern if you have one. Who's traveling with who? So we'll just start at the top of the list here. Who's gonna travel with Georgia? Are the siblings going together?
I mean, do we need to split up? Can we just all move as one?
It will take 2 hours if you don't split up.
Do we want to do that, or do we just want to just give it a once over?
You're going to find more if you split up in a shorter time frame. We're also not on a big time crunch. Again, in Dragonbane, there's just segments of time. I'm just telling you how long it takes. So if you split up, you can do it in an hour. If you go as a group to be safe, you can do it in 2. I mean, you can see each other across. It's not far. Okay, casting light.
Cast lights on something I'm carrying so that I have it with me.
Trick as well, correct?
It's also a trick, so it's just 1 willpower, happens automatically.
I always assume you have like a glowing hot iron that produces light, like a fucking fire poker. I superheat metal to create light.
Have you ever seen or played Darkest Dungeon 2? The runaway character fights with a red hot poker.
Is that? Oh, I have not played that yet. So, are we splitting up or staying together? That's what matters right now.
I've got a lantern, so I can split off.
So let's split up then. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. Serving hands and Rogue Rouge cards. We're going back deep for some awareness cards. Your choice what you're doing. Awareness or spot hidden. I need to know which one you're doing. Because you will get different information. And I need to know who's going with who with the split up. There are a total of 4 buildings. One is locked. Like shut, barred. The other ones you can get into.
I guess
Yeah,
I'll go to whichever side has the locked one to see if I can.
Okay, you're going to the locked one. Who's going with him to the locked one?
I'll stick with my brother.
Okay, so you 2 are together. That means everybody else is going to their own building.
Okay.
All right.
Sure.
Makes sense.
Do we want to spread around what skills are being used so we're not all doing awareness? Or
You just get different information in each building. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to give you different info. So I'll do the locked building last. Let's start with Maria here. Are you letting the deer go by himself? That's probably the best question.
No, he's taken with me.
Okay, so he's gonna be with you all. So we're.
I feel personal responsibility for him.
You should. You did birth him. So let's go to Maria. So you go into the first building. You get one of the ones where the door is cracked and like a chunk of it is missing. Kind of crouch down and get in through the doors. Inside this area, there are counters on each side. It's kind of like a long center walkway. The back, you can tell they would have displays for stuff here. There are old armor, like No. There's old armor pieces hanging in the back of the room on the wall to kind of put together or repair or fix if you are wearing anything. So like pauldrons, cuirass, leather straps, things like that. There's no blacksmith area here, but you can tell they have some leather working on one side. The other side, on a quick glance, looks like this person was a gem cutter and a gem setter. Like someone who would adorn jewelry, bracers, maybe really ornate pieces of breastplates. What skill do you want to use? Are you looking for something of value, or are you more searching the place and taking in as awareness?
I think I'm gonna do spot hidden.
Okay. So I'll give you one awareness, which will go to either or. That means you get a boon to what's going on. You have a torch that washes out the bane by itself. So you get one boon to this roll.
Okay. I got a 9 under 10.
Looking around this place, it has been looted numerous times. You can tell people have come in here. Things have been moved. They're not in the spaces that somebody would have left, like leaving work and coming back. A lot of things are locked up. It doesn't look like this place has been used in a while, just in a general sense. Time-wise, you're not quite sure without deep research. But on the back wall, there is a door built into the wall to be opened. It is hidden well. So that back wall's got like pauldrons that are all dusty and covered in frost. And there's an area that you're pretty sure you could open a door. They must go into maybe another room behind.
Okay.
Are you going to open it, or are you going to leave it alone?
Let's kick it off with me going into my weakness of foolhardy, and I'm gonna open it.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm gonna spend 2 willpower to elongate my whip, and then I'm gonna get the door open.
All right. So, sleight of hand is what you use to open secret doors or traps or anything like that. You are looking around. You don't know how to open it. If you could give me a sleight of hand roll, I believe that's what it is, right? For pick locks and everything. So if you can give me a roll on that, no penalty or anything. It's not too difficult.
Okay.
If you would like another awareness card for a boon, I'll give you one.
Yes, please.
All right.
Although I got a crit actually. I got a dragon.
As you start moving through, what you realize is one of the armor pieces is not made to be removed. And when you put pressure on it, you can hear something click. And there's your normal lines that you would have in like stone walls. This is wood. The wood slides, and then the stone slides back and slides behind the wall. Inside here, there are a group of dwarves gathered, frozen, and dead.
Hey.
You do hear the beginning of whisperings of dwarven accents in hollow.
Okay.
If you want to attempt to speak to them, or you can search the room, that is up to you.
I don't know if I'm going to speak to them, but I want to see if I can try and understand what they're saying with languages.
Oh yeah, give me a roll. I don't know if you have any spells or anything for speaking to hollow.
No, and I didn't get it. I got 12 and I'm at 8, so
they're speaking in it. It is kind of coming in and out. It doesn't feel strong. You know, common knowledge in Ethauntia, if spirits have been dormant for too long, they have a hard time manifesting their abilities or materializing. You don't see anything. In the room, there is a set of bunk beds on one side. They go 4 high, with stairs that go up the wall to kind of get into each one, right? There are some trunks on the other wall to like store belongings. There's a desk in here. And then there is a closet filled with rotted clothes. All of the dwarves are huddled together in the corner next to the beds and the stairs. You can see there's a pile on the floor where they were probably trying to produce fire.
Okay.
Those logs never burned, whatever they were.
Okay.
Probably timber from some of the beds or shit that they have here. Anything else you want to look for in here before I cut to the next person?
since half the party seems very concerned about the chiming of the forge or the metalworking, you said that there's a desk here. I guess I would try and look through the desk to see if there's any like paperwork that I can't read Dwarven, but maybe if it looks like a manifest of what supplies or something.
So it's a very tall vertical desk. It probably goes 5 meters high. There's a little ladder on the side. It sets out of the wall. It's made of stone, adorned in wood. There's a bunch of different symbols carved into it. The desk itself has got a, not a roll top, but like the hinge that you would flip up and like latch to open it. And it's got a writing area inside. Yeah, like a reverse secretary desk. Like instead of opening down, it opens up and latches on. On the inside of it, it is filled with runes. General intelligence, I would tell you, you're guessing it's like maybe locations or addresses or something like that. It's somewhere to like write or look at it and go, this is the place that we mail X to. That's your guess, without a hard language roll. There are tons of cubbies full of bags. There are a few scrolls, and there is an old set of 2 pens and an old wax sealing kit.
So I'm
Our
sorry,
papers.
scrolls, runes,
Scrolls.
locations,
Yep.
2 pens, and then a wax sealing kit.
And you don't speak Dwarven, right? You can make a language check, but it's at a Bane.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to help you with languages, unfortunately, in our rolls.
I didn't get it. I didn't get it either way.
With that, I'm going to cut over to Burke. Burke, you went into one of the other ones. She went into the cracked one. The one is in front of you. The door is open. It's not broken, but it's like cracked open. It's tall. When you come into this one, it is a vertical space that goes up with stairs that go up and around, kind of like in a squared pattern. And then it also recesses down a floor. In the center of this place, there is a large stone chimney with multiple holes and platforms that go out to it, and they kind of like have a floor around it. So think of it like multiple balconies, and in the center there's like a seating area around, you're guessing, a hearth. This hearth goes 4 stories. 2 down, 2 up. So 5, the main floor.
70s conversation pit on steroids.
Yeah, kind of. In the very basement area, when you look down with your light, it doesn't quite reach that bottom floor. Are you using awareness or spot hidden to search this place?
I think I'm
At least
gonna
to
go
start.
the safe route and go awareness.
All right, you got your bonus die for this. You do have a torch that washes out the Bane. Yes, Stardrew, those pens are definitely frozen over.
So it's a flat check or washes.
You got a
I don't
boon.
have
You
any
got a boon. You get a
boons.
boon because of the awareness bonus.
So overall, there's a boon.
Yes, correct.
Just confirming because I just rolled a demon.
No, I'm sorry. That was a Bane.
19. So it's still a fail. 19 over 13.
Looking around, you don't find anything of importance. You're guessing maybe this was like an inn of some form. The upper floors, because if you walk around, everything's in great like repair. Nothing's like deteriorating. The stone is solid. The wood is in good shape, but it is all frozen. So like frozen wood doesn't really rot. Maybe once it thaws. As you go up and around, there are torches in the area. They are not lit. It's up to you if you want to try to light anything to create light in here to make your life easier. And there are rooms on the... So if you go on the ground floor, there's 2 down, 2 up. The 2 up do have rooms off of them. Doors are all shut.
Well, there's nothing odd here. I don't see anything wrong. I'm going to proceed.
Gonna go search the place more? Are you gonna light torches and shit? You want to do the bottom 2 floors or top 2 floors?
Let's go up.
All right, give me an awareness roll for this. Would you like another aware card? I can give you one. We do have more. It gives you a boon.
Yes, please.
All right, we'll give you Star Drews. Ah! It's like I'm sweating in this fucking mask. She's got a fan. It's in her lap. What you got for your awareness? You get a boon.
13 and a 10. So with the boon, I make it 10 under 13.
Upstairs, you start checking the doors. Quickly, after checking one or two, you can tell that they are barred from the inside. There are a few that are cracked. They have claw marks on them. They are larger than your hand, for sure. And you can tell people push furniture in the way to block the doors from being open. It would take time to force these open and search it. If you were to search all of these rooms, it would take a shift. Probably with someone's help to get these doors open. There are about, I would say, 10 rooms, 5 on each floor. Up to you if you want to come back and tell the group and take that kind of time. But people were protecting themselves here, is your guess. You're going to search the bottom floors.
Yeah, I'll go down and do the bottom now.
I'll give you another awareness bonus from Nessie.
There we go. A 6 under 13.
6 under 13. Down here, it is a combination of restaurant and tavern. You can tell that these lower levels were heated. The hearth is much larger on these floors. It is still that catwalk style around. There are old tables. Here, though, you do find some frozen bodies to the tables. Even their drinks that they were drinking are frozen in their mugs. The mugs are made of like well-carved stone, brass, and bronze. Whatever happened here was a surprise, and these people were not ready. The fire itself is frozen. Like, fire frozen. On closer look, the fire is gone, but the ice around it is kept the shape of whatever was burning here originally.
That breaks all kinds of laws of physics.
It sure does. That's called magic, man.
Magic. Giant waffle iron. I'll allow it.
Yeah, right? So I would say sub level 2 is your restaurant, and then the run below is the bar. The main area is kind of like check-in is how I would, like the main lobby area. After going through this, you're guessing it's some form of kind of like an inn or a hotel for people who would travel and purchase and buy here.
Continental breakfast, gymnasium.
I mean, at least continental breakfast here is probably better than normal continental breakfast is. Is there anything else you want to do here before you leave?
No, it all seems up and up to me. Just a note to self to let everyone know we have to come back and explore this when things are more normal.
All right, so I will cut to the other 3 here. Let me get us set up. Boop, 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 boop. So we're going to go 5, 3, and 4. And then bring us over. I think this is everybody. One more. Let's do this again. There they are. So the 3 of you are at the other area that is locked. Like I said before, there's a big stone and wooden beam that goes across the door. On closer inspection, the craftsman, without any rolls, you can tell there are bars that go into the wall, and something inside must lift this mechanism to let you open the doors out. Okay. It's like a reverse castle. They are not common. They're fucking expensive to make. But it helps stop a door from being battering rammed open because they're made to open out. So that means there's a beam in the middle to kind of support those doors. If you want to try to bypass this, I'll let the 3 of you come up with any kind of idea that you want, but it is definitely fucking locked. Like, that's got to move, or you're not getting in without destroying something or bypassing it.
Are there windows or anything?
Guessing
on
this
any
would
of these
probably be
houses?
some type of currency exchange or money house for the bazaar.
You speak Dwarven, right?
Yeah. Is there a sign or anything?
Yeah. At the top of it, hold on here. I haven't had to open this thing in fucking ages. Let me grab my information for our game. When's the last time I had to open the fucking big leather brown book, or the little tiny brown book?
The Nodaria one? Last season.
Yeah, it's been a while. So let me grab our Been a while. Been a while. I'm not going to critical roll that. Don't you dare, Todd. You almost got me to do it.
It's been a while.
Nope, not doing it. Nope, fuck all of you. It's not happening.
Oh my.
Yep, I know, but I can hear you. You almost got me. You almost got me.
It's been a while.
Since we
I want a
Oh,
search.
that's it. I'm sorry.
brown book.
You guys all suck. I just want to point that out. I fucking hate you.
You invited me here. So.
I shouldn't have. You are correct. I shouldn't have. It's a fucking mistake. It's a fucking mistake. Anyway, let me open up the keepers here for the camera. I feel like I have another 4cam I can use here. Is it this one? Yeah, this one. So the keepers, looking at it, it looks like it is Brug Underpeak, Keeper of Mines.
Okay.
Brug Underpeak is it's a dwarven keeper. I will say if you all have information or a role you would want to make. Been a while since I said keeper said they're sorry. They never say they're sorry, Nick. Myths and legends I would allow, or if you have a secondary skill that would fall under this, or if you have like a dwarven skill, I would also like a lore. I would also let that work.
Yeah. So I used to have a dwarven lore. I don't know if that.
Yeah, you didn't bring it over.
Yep, you're right. What about occult?
No. Oh, ooh, yes, because it is keeper. I would allow it. It's at a bait.
Keeper.
Okay, I'll do it. Drew, you can do something smarter.
I can do a myths and legends roll.
You
I
could.
don't know how good that's gonna do, but
Myths and legends might bring something. No Bane, because it's just like, have I ever heard a story about Brug?
Other
I have
like,
9 out of
reading
10.
dwarven language and trying to study all this. Can I just do a quick pass around the house and see?
It's built into the fucking wall.
Oh,
into the
that's right,
tunnel
in
itself.
Got
Yeah,
you,
yeah,
got
yeah.
you, got you. Okay.
So we'll start with Allie here. What did Georgia get?
8 under 15.
And you use what?
Occult.
You have an awful lot of skin right now. This seems wrong. I'm just kidding. Occult. Brug is the
Occult?
keeper of mines. Before miners would go in to do their job, they would pray to him at a shrine outside and ask for blessings for things like finding the gem or gold that they're looking for, not having a fucking mine collapse on you. But Underpeak is known for fighting off the darker denizens of the below. So dealing with drow, aberrations from the depths of the earth, fighting Snufniblin or deep dwarfs. That's what they're known for dealing with. And they would hope that when they open a new mine, that wouldn't open into one of these areas. So he was worshipped for like safety, but also for prosperity for a lot of people who were miners. He was known to be an avid drinker and an avid fighter. He is not I'll bring us back. That was a great question. No, it is not a canary. You are close though. You are close. They are known for carrying below lizards, a lizard creature. They are known for being able to find gem veins. They're very small, similar to like a scaled salamander. And there are different breeds of them where they can usually find a location to strike, and they'll bring them as luck to find things. There's no canaries that they brought during that time frame because poisonous gas to a dwarf just meant suck it up, Buttercup. With that said, if she does share that information between the two of you, your family in the past has owned some of these salamanders. They're prized possessions.
Yeah, I definitely would.
I mean, truffle pig's the wrong word, but they are like gem locators.
Yeah. It's
They give you a boon.
I can't remember what the second edition dwarves had dogs that could sniff gold.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
I can't remember what they were called.
The reason that they can find them is because they fucking eat them.
Oh, okay.
Wait, the salamanders find them? Because they eat them? Are they like Zorn salamanders?
I didn't say that out loud. But you're not. You are close. You are very close. They are from the plane of Earth, or realm of Earth in this game. With an X. Salamanders with an X. I'm gonna write that down. That is now canon. Salamanders with X, aka Salamanders. Done. All right. So that's that one.
I
What
definitely,
Yeah, Kelly, there you go.
I definitely share that.
now?
Salamanders.
Yeah, there you go. X on each side, right? Yeah, correct. Yeah, because they're a clan, Kelly. So a fucking phase clan, but way better. Can you? What did you get for your roll, Drew? And what were you rolling for Regtor?
I rolled spot hidden, and with a boon, I got a 10 and a 3, so a 3.
This place is sealed and trapped. You are a trap expert. I will not give you the double boons to locate how to get rid of it.
The double boons? Or the
Banes.
double
Sorry, Banes. I will not
Okay.
put those on you. It is a regular roll.
Be spot hidden again or awareness?
Craft.
Oh, okay.
For how it is made and what it does.
Woohoo! 4 under 12.
If this trap is set off, there is a second bar that comes down and pins you between the one that is there and here, like a roller coaster ride, but you die.
So not keeping you safe in the seat, just making
No,
you-
just there so that when they come, they can talk to your dead body and find out why.
Got it.
Thieves are trapped at the door. It's like a warning. And when you look at the bar that goes across the door, there are like chips and claw marks and fingernail areas. Like people have been trapped there before.
Wait a minute. Is this like a salamander house? Like where they keep them?
You don't know.
I don't know if it's worth trying to get into this right now, but it's good to know that it's here.
If you want to disarm it, you can. You know how it works. Instead of 2 Banes, it would be 1. If you fail, this trap goes off. For clarity, it is 4d8 damage.
I don't know that we need to do this right now, but it's good to know that it's here.
Sure, if you say so. You just think it's the salamander house.
I don't know. It's obviously holding something of wealth. Either that or it might be a holding house. It might have been a bank. Did Brug work in like trade houses? Like did he do money lending or anything like that? Or is it like
You don't
Is
know.
it
You didn't
a-
make the roll.
Yeah, I did. It was
No,
9 under 10.
she made the roll on knowledge with occult.
I did myths and legends. I made it.
I gave you your myth and legend.
I don't know, really.
It's not like you
might
learn
be.
it. It's not like you make it and you unlock the entire 101 through 105 class. That's not how that fucking works. You learned
That's
a
one of-
thing.
I just wanted the 101.
That's too bad.
Judging by the trap and the security, I'm guessing it might be some type of like either it's a lending house or it might have been where they came up and exchanged gems for gold so they could just be on their way.
Should we try to break the door open? I could attempt that.
No,
Oh,
we shouldn't.
No,
we shouldn't.
don't do that.
I mean, I could try and get it open, but I just don't think it's worth the risk right now. We got bigger fish to fry.
And again, you hear the clang again somewhere
And whatever
deep,
the hell that is.
deep past the gate. You're guessing at this point. You guys have
Yeah.
been hearing it over the last hour. Everybody has. Do you want to try opening it or not? You're studying this for a shift. You have the time to try to open it. This is up to you. Or not a shift. I'm sorry. An hour. 4 stretches. You have the time.
Eric, can we see the thing that will do the crush if we have
He
the
knows
trap
it's
go
there.
off?
Can't see it. It's
It-
somewhere up in the ceiling somewhere.
Okay.
Did you tell us that it's booby trapped and what it does and everything as well too?
Yeah, I did. I was like, well, it's
Could-
trapped, so we don't want to
I
mess
mean-
with it right now.
If you want to try it, could I hold on to you? And then if you did, I'll just pull you really fast. So, yank you out the way. How these things work.
It's bad when I got to use the whole second page for other options.
I'm a teenager.
He is a teenager.
I mean, it's true. It would be hard to get it open, and I just feel like, we'll leave it for now. That way, if somebody else comes across it, and if we just open it to see what's in it, and then we leave it open to come back later, somebody else comes across it, they could just take what's in it. So we'll just leave it closed for right now.
Not to mention, I think if there's anybody in the area and they're intrigued by a locked door, if we walk away and come back, I mean, it will be obvious if they've been in or not.
Makes
I mean,
sense.
They'll still be here if they try. So,
Okay.
yeah. Right. Well, let's go meet up with the rest.
All right. So you guys are fucking with the door, taking notes. I will say you've written some notes on this. If you ever come back to deal anything with this, you have notes on it. Write down that you have a boon to try to open it. Just because you have an idea of what it is, that's what your time is spent with the three of you here. With that said, audience, if you're not in our Discord, Todd is already dropping more memes in the live show chat than I've had a chance to look at. It's ridiculous. I don't know, man. He apparently bleeds memes. I'm not quite sure. I know it's easy to search him. Oh, there's other people too? Oh, okay. I haven't scrolled through them all. But with that, the hammering gets louder and louder. People can be heard at this point. Voices saying, "What is that? Where's that coming from?" And it's not you all. And the voices can be heard here in this area prior to the gate. As everyone kind of comes out of their different rooms that they were looking at, the inn, the gem and like repair station and whatever Brug Underpeak's place is. When you turn around, phantom carts begin to move up and down the rail track, along with dwarves that are moving stuff, and they flicker in and out of existence between the gusts of wind that fill this space. Let me bring everybody back online here so I don't have some random smattering. Bats, do your damn job.
Bats!
There we go. As everyone kind of meets back up in the middle, you can see the spirits moving about. I would want to ask the party. Obviously, information would be shared. What do you all want to do? The torches flicker as the wind goes by, but they never go out. And you can feel why frost has built up here over the time. As you all get back after an hour, you're fucking cold. Being around Burke will help, but he will have to recast his spell. Because it only lasts an hour, correct? Or is it a shift?
Shift 6 hours.
Oh, you got 5 more hours left. 5 more. Well, 4.5, whatever, because we were outside for a while. We'll say 3 for the sake of arguing to make it easy, because you guys dicked outside for an hour. What does the party want to do? Are we gonna talk about opening Brick Underpeak's place, whatever the fuck that is? Or are we gonna head towards the rail line and follow it to the gate at the end and follow the sound of the hammer on something? What does the party want to do?
I'm gonna ask Georgia and Regdor if they want to look at the stuff that I found.
You tell us about it.
I'm assuming all information's shared unless you don't share it.
Yeah, like I went in there. That place is like a leatherworking / jewel crafting area, or some sort of storefront or something. There is a door built in the back wall, like it was hidden. I was able to open it. There's a group of dwarves that are frozen and dead, like the bats, on the ceiling, they were surrounding, it looks like a log, like they were trying to set a fire to keep themselves warm, and they never had the chance. The reason I think that maybe we should go in there is I could hear them talking in Hollow, but I don't speak either Dwarven nor Hollow. And also there's a desk that has a bunch of scrolls, Dwarven runes that are marking locations, some pens, a wax sealing kit, so that I'm thinking that area, especially if the proprietor was more of a gem cutter, jewelry maker, maybe the runes and the notes and the scrolls are talking about what they were doing here, or have more information that we might be able to use before we decide to start traipsing down railways.
Okay.
Georgia would definitely want to go. The first thing she would be checking on is if she recognized any of the dwarves.
No, you definitely don't recognize any of the dwarves. As the group, I'm assuming the whole party comes into this room. Same thing, the two counters on each side. You can see leather repair and kind of looks like they fix after the more crafters come in. They look like they resize armor, fix travelers' gear, boots, everything. They're like a cobbler, leather worker, general maintenance shop for gear that you would wear on travel. Either the end of your
harnesses in here and stuff too.
Yeah, it's like the end of your road coming out of the highway, or if you're going in and you've traveled through the wild, they would maintain your stuff so you can continue your journey. It's like a checkpoint, similar to like how inns would have blacksmiths that fix like horseshoes and stuff like
Horseshoes and stuff, yeah.
But this is more for like, you've probably been in combat coming here, so let's make sure you can keep doing that. In that back room, there is a, like I said before, the body's kind of frozen in the corner, a fire they tried to forge that never lit. There's the desk that she is talking about with dwarven runes. Between you and your sister, no roles really required, as long as at least one of you is trained in languages. Because while it is dwarven, it is a little bit of a
dialect.
Nope, it is old. It's older than the dwarven you know. This is like hymns and chants level, like old pre-sundering. I would say anywhere between 1,000 to 2,000 years old.
Okay.
There is a series of glyphs across the top that you're guessing is some form of translation or indicators of locations. But none of those names, besides Holdenar and Iron Peak, ring a bell at all. They're too old of clan names. Until you get to the letters, and one of them, as Barak, is the name on the outside of the scroll.
Well, we're obviously reading that, right?
It is not frozen because it was in the desk, but it is cold and brittle.
Well, what's up there?
That's probably pretty fragile, whatever it is. What's it written on?
Parchment, paper. You're close enough to the outside world that paper would definitely be used instead of stone for this. Ooh, it's so much easier to click the words in here.
I don't know how we're going to be able to open that without it crumpling, breaking apart.
Does anyone have a repair spell of some form, or the ability to heat the objects with a magic check? Anything like that? I would allow somebody.
Yes.
You say yes?
Yes and yes. Yes and yes.
All right. What would you like to try to do there?
Fix it? You want me to heat it? I can do a little bit of both.
I would say both. If it's a trick, it's still going to require a roll because you're manipulating the spell to do more. But it's only one willpower. It is delicate, so I am going to add a bane. It is delicate. Would you?
What is this made of again? Is it
paper?
paper?
If you would like to use a Keeper's Eye, I will wash out your Bane if you're willing to dip into the Keepers. It does move a tracker one.
I was gonna say it. Clock goes up, right?
Yep.
What the hell? We're on episode 12.
All right, that means you will get a D4 willpower back, and you will tap into it and be able to use it. Let me just mark this. Okay. Give me your roll. No Bane. You wash it out. See what you get. Use your spellcraft.
Elementalism. I rolled a 15 under my 18.
You have an 18 now?
Yeah, I maxed it out. It's the first one I got that went to 18.
I forgot. All right, so with the 18, you are able to manipulate it, warm it, to thaw it, and immediately dry out the water on it so that it can be opened. It is written in Dwarven. It does have the name Barrock on it. The name under Barrock is... You find here? Bringar. 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 And then it has your clan's last name. And then next to that, it also has Iron Peak. Like, name with like lines between them. Bringar is definitely the first name. If you want a Myth and Legends, you can. It is at 3 Banes. It's 2,000 years old.
You got this. You're fine.
This paper feels a little more supple than normal. Maybe it was leather at one point, but it is fucking brittle now. He has warmed it and made it rollable and functioning. It means it's not damaged, and you can take it with you even if you want, without fear of damaging it. Fucking
we'll do that.
May I assist on it?
If you would like to assist each other, you can take away one of the Banes, but you have to be trained in Myth and Legends to be able to do it.
Yeah.
Who's got the higher Myth and Legends between the two of you?
Mine's
I
a
feel like-
10.
Oh, then I do. I am at a 12.
So you
Okay,
will
I'll
be
assist you then.
at 2 Banes.
2 Banes?
2 Banes. It's probably the higher roll,
Okay.
one of the hardest rolls we've had in the game so far.
Oof.
No, only one, unless it's like if you are doing something large, like 3 people opening a gate, or if you have a bunch of people working on building something, yes. But looking at a note, unless you speak Dwarven, then no.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
2 Banes. I don't see anything that I can really give you to help. Unless you want to take time, I would let you use an uncommon blueprint to like do some lineage mapping and stuff like that, but that would take an entire shift.
Okay. Might pocket it if this fails and save that for later.
That means you could try again later, maybe when you're back at the library or something changes the roll. Yep.
Oh my god. 2, 6, and 10 under 12.
Holy shit.
Okay.
Nice work.
Ugh. Taking a picture.
This paperwork was written and talks about Bringar and marrying one of the Iron Peaks and making the Barrocks an official clan.
Oh. Lucky for us,
Huh.
he showed up for his wedding.
And it talks
Not the time.
about the gift and making a sword crafted between the metals from Iron Peak and the gems from the Barrock family. There is a sketch at the bottom, and it looks like the same drawing if your sword was put together.
Mm,
Does it say what it like? So it's like
Nope, it's just like
It's the
this is the
clan.
wedding gift we're making. This is the merger. This is the Iron Peaks saying Barrock can become their own clan. Their family is large enough. We adopt them in. So it'd be like Iron Peak is at the top. Barrock's the next line.
this would be like a
Woof.
clan sword instead of a clan dagger.
You got it. There is an image of the sword drawn in it. It goes up, it flares at the end, and it's kind of got like that rounded, like half moon crescent tip on it for weight. So it kind of goes like this. So that's what the letter says. Apparently, Allie is really good at languages and myths. Who knew a skeleton would be so good at it? Old stuff.
Rodrick. What?
It's just because you're a skeleton. So with that information, you have it. You guys search the entire place. There isn't anything else here. There's no gems left. There are some like frozen tools, but again, if Burke was to take the time to go through, he could probably repair more stuff here. But you're talking shifts upon shifts upon shifts of him like manipulating, fixing each individual tool. But this place is frozen in time. It could technically be brought back. It would just take a lot of fucking work. And again, you hear the clanging. And now you hear the sound of deer running away from you, somewhere further inside. As another gust of wind comes through. And with this, there is like ice in the wind. You're inside the building. It's not that bad. You also have a couple hours left of the cold, the push off the cold. What does the party want to do?
What are the dwarves saying? What are that they're saying?
Are you going to try to listen?
Yeah.
I need languages and a bane. If anyone has the ability to speak with dead somehow, that will bypass this entirely.
No.
Man, I think you did.
I'm just a teenage.
It's not. What day are we on? It's not Remembrance, is it?
Nope.
Where's Claybell? Wasn't she with us?
No, she was not. Claybell doesn't fit and come with you. She did not come.
Okay.
She stayed back.
You said at a Bane, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I speak Hollow.
Yeah, you speak Hollow and Dwarven. That's why it's a bane and not 2.
Okay, it's only an 8, so
Yeah, man, you can get lucky.
probably won't work.
Allie just did.
Nope.
Nope.
10 and 18.
It fades in and out too much. You would probably have to touch a body and cast a spell and like actually bring them to their body to do it. But we don't have anyone with that kind of ability yet. No true faith members here, or keeper, worshippers that can do it. But you know they're here. They're not going anywhere.
Can I make a crafting roll and see, like, based off what they're wearing, how old they are? Like, are these guys from pre-sundering?
There's no, without getting the ice off of them, there's just no way. The clothing is frozen. There's frost on them. Like, it would take time. You're not just looking at them and doing it. Now, if you want to spend time, sure.
No, it's...
I mean, this room is old. The frost is old.
What about the desk? Like, I'm
It's
trying
old.
I'm trying to find something that can date.
It's old.
What these guys were from.
It's old. You haven't seen dwarven craftsmanship like this before. Your dwarves aren't from here. This is older than anything you know about. Pre-sundering, absolutely.
I mean, I'm from pre-sundering.
It is
So-
like, I would say before technomancy was around.
Okay.
That's probably the best way to date, like, industrial increase.
Well,
Allie's like, look at my dice!
yeah, we don't have any way to communicate with them, and we should probably leave.
Well, at least it's nice to know a little bit more about the family history.
Looking at the sketch of this sword, was it like a two-hander? Is it a
No, longsword.
longsword?
Is it the sword that was supposed to be delivered to Redgar?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
That he has all the pieces with him.
Okay.
Absolutely is. Are we moving from here? Or do you guys need to camp? I don't know how tapped your characters are. Willpower wise.
I mean, I just got some back. I haven't spent any.
Everybody's good then?
Mm-hmm.
We're heading towards the gate then?
Let's go.
When you head towards the gate, it does get louder. Like I said, it's a little over 100 meters to the gate. The gate, once you get there, the wind that blows through is kicking up like the frosted snow that kind of covers the entrance. But it is about, I would say, waist high raised. It's not closed. And you can see where all the frost and ice that is on this, you can see where some creature large enough that their hands cover 2 of the grates grabbed it and lifted. And like broke or melted the ice.
Tracking?
For what?
Tracks it has? Like the tracks of
they
whatever
came
lifted this
from
thing.
inside. You don't even need to roll.
Right, no, I'm talking about like when we get up.
Straight line. There's nowhere to track. I mean, there's only one way to go. I'm telling you that it was open from the inside, not the outside. You don't need to track. It's easy to see. You can see the fucking footprints.
No, I'm not trying to determine the path. I'm trying to see like the actual tracks of like what could have done this.
You have no. It's large, humanoid feet.
Humanoid. Okay. Booted or
Too hard to tell at this point. It's been blown over too much.
okay.
But the footprints, I would say, are torso-sized.
Like my torso?
A human. Pretty big.
Okay.
Pretty big. But it's open, and it's frozen back in place again. Like the wind's blown through enough that like you would have to chisel the edges to let it drop. The weights just can't move the ice anymore.
Got it.
And it is dark in here, and there are no torches, at least down the tunnel that you can see.
What do we think?
So, do we hear the sound of deer coming from the same area as the clanging?
Yeah, somewhere deeper into the tunnel, yes. The deer noise has subsided now. You do hear the clang every so often. It's not hard clanging. Like, if it was someone smithing, you would be hearing clang, clang. It's like clang, and like minutes pass.
Okay.
It's like a timekeeper.
No, it doesn't have a rhythm to it at all. It's just random intervals. But every couple of minutes you hear it.
It'd be kind of like an echo, like we're seeing these wisps of spirits every now and then. You think maybe it's an auditory
That's a good guess.
echo
Could be.
of the past?
Fuck. Are we gonna haunt?
No, I mean, there are spirits here, but it's not haunted.
Okay.
There are spirits that reside here, yes. You can see them. The
I
carts,
mean,
like,
honestly,
every 15 minutes, they kind of go away, and they'll come back for a few minutes, and then they'll fade away again.
What's in the carts when they're walking away? Like when they're pushing it?
Carts are usually filled with crates.
Crates.
Packaged materials.
It's like ready to be shipped off and
They're pushing them in, and then sometimes they're coming out. It just depends. You're just
Are
seeing
these
an
one of the
echo
small
of the
carts?
past. No, there's
These are
two.
the small carts or the big ones?
They're the small ones. They're on the little rail, not the big one.
Okay.
One man pushing them. Sometimes there'll be like 2 or 3 stacks. Sometimes there's one, but you're just seeing an echo of probably history. What are you going to ask, Georgia?
I was just going to say, that Georgia would hear the deer and just kind of like lean in and be like, and does that imply that this area has already been taken or compromised, so to speak?
That's a good question.
See, was that towards me? I lost the second half of that.
It would just be the general party.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, what did you ask though? Regardless, I still
Well, if
lost.
this is the area that we were hoping to defend, but if we're hearing deer stampeding, does that mean we're already too late?
That I don't know. I mean, it just what it told us is if we are warriors, go inside, and if not, stay here.
Well, we didn't see anybody else out here.
Well, I don't think that we would. He uses portals to travel between trees to get where he needs to go.
Mm-hmm.
And he has this calling to his soldiers saying, the strongest of you go on the battlefield, the rest of you stay here.
Right.
Are there any, like, I know you were talking about how we saw antlers. Are there any, not here necessarily, but I'm going to look. Are there any antlers here?
Yes, there are. There are some marks on the ground that are scratchy, like an antler from like a deer digging in the snow. But it's not... there doesn't seem to be any language behind it to you. I will say for Foldred, though, you can tell these are markings of direction.
They're trying to point.
Yeah,
in
they
a
point.
direction.
Yep, to where to go, and they are pointing away from the gate. And you know that these are like markings of warning.
Oh, these are apparently they're telling us to go away from it. It's got to be. They're saying don't go that way. It's a warning. Seems like it. And you actually like see him like down by like the markings and everything, like sniffing it and like almost like licking the tree as well too.
I will say, with your sense of smell, you do smell like deer in winter, like cold deer fur. Like you do smell it somewhere deeper into the tunnels, like your own people.
There's definitely something here. I don't. But our goals, we want to find the prince, right? Still doing that.
Yes. But, I mean, another option is that the warning was put out there after those ones already headed in.
True.
Maybe the ones that came back were the ones that made the warning.
I mean, I think honestly the best way to get to the bottom of it is to either go in, or at least to go in and find them.
The charred tree, or whatever that has the portal,
Yeah, outside. Yep.
yeah, does that feel like warm to the touch or like have like the scent of spring or anything like
It
that?
was warm to the touch. It did definitely have the scent of spring. You did know that it would open the veil into the Battlelands between
Right.
fall and spring.
Fall and spring.
Yep.
Okay. Group. The Fawn Prince is like the general for the soldiers for spring.
Mm-hmm, correct.
And he's trying to make, and by this point apologies, Maria's getting frustrated, doesn't necessarily care that we have like
Yep.
a potential
Yep.
turncoat here.
Yep.
So we're here,
I'm waiting for Maria's message if I'm stabbing Adam.
right, we're here in an ice cold place that is almost unnaturally cold, like winter court, perchance. I don't really think the Fawn Prince is going to be here, because if he was, we would probably see more signs of spring.
Maybe. He is looking for a portal. That is something you all know. And the struck lightning trees are made by the army for since Maria wasn't here last time. They make those trees by striking them with lightning, and they become a ring of power to open the veil.
So
Oh, good. There's
Either-
one close to home.
either we go further in
Mm-hmm.
and see if perhaps some of the Fawn Prince's soldiers have run into something that might be of use to us further in this tunnel system,
Mm-hmm.
or we mark it down as something to investigate later and either go through this portal or try and find more signs of spring that would lead us to the Fawn Prince.
I mean, there is smell of deer inside, and I will tell you again, Foldred, if he focuses, because he has the ability to locate the direction of the Fawn Prince, it is further into the tunnels. That doesn't mean that they didn't use a portal to get there or something. That's up to you. But he does sense the prince further inside.
Further in? Okay.
She's so confusing with all of this, and you see like Fulric, he kind of like starts stomping, kind of like around the yard a little bit. But as he starts doing that, like it kind of starts walking around, like flowers start to like follow his footsteps.
That is true.
Like geraniums and stuff. As he just like kind of starts walking, he kind of just walks away, like kind of towards some trees. But as he walks, wherever he goes, there are like geraniums that pop up out of the ground where he's walking.
He gets a little bit of distance away.
Sure.
Regner's gonna lean over to Maria. It's like, so the deer that he was birthed from had a third eye. I don't know what that means to you, but I don't know how special he is. But and I kind of look at the ground, but I mean,
well, we know that the Fawn Prince is basically knocking up deer
or people.
Or people. So it's probably
right.
You're welcome, furries.
Probably one of the prince's children. Especially if it's born within the confines of our outpost, which is supposed to be protected by cryptids. Maybe something happened there.
Important distinction.
Yeah, it's possible. The other thing is that he looks at his hand. He's like, he was dreaming, and I wanted to make sure that we were going to be safe if we kept him around. And I saw his dream. Happened twice. First time, it was the Fawn Prince calling his soldiers to gather. He didn't step in. He stayed back. And there's a lot of them. Like a lot. The second time I went in, he was talking about finding a gate that he knows a way in, and that they'll be victorious and stronger than ever because it's the blood gate.
Yeah, it worked.
And going through that gate would make them even stronger. I don't know if, like, maybe there's a sacrifice that has to happen, and that's why it's the blood gate. I have no idea, but...
Well, I mean, we've seen...
I got the feeling it was inside this cave, and so I'm wondering if it's not the end of this route that we're traveling now. Behooves.
I mean, those are all good possible theories behind this. There's really only two options, though. Like Maria said, there's either you open the fucking veil or you continue forward.
I say we keep going and see what we find.
You do hear the clang again while you guys are having this conversation.
Whatever the fuck that is.
And you do hear the scream of deers abruptly stop.
There were deer screaming?
Well, before there was a sound of them. Scream this time, and it just stops. And I mean a lot of them.
The only reason I was thinking that maybe the Fawn Prince wouldn't be here is because if what our young friend said is true about the scratches being warnings, I would think that they would be here then. But maybe if he's powerful enough to be down there and this is some sort of...
For a little reminder for everybody, the original time that the Fawn Prince was born out of fire, that was in your guys' outpost. But also, when you were in the first grove, there was a tree that they say they locked him away in. It was a burnt tree. The one outside looks similar, but it's not hollowed. It's like a blown up, split trunk. Was cold there, and they seem to use cold to kind of keep him from awakening. Like I don't want to say freeze him in time, but they definitely do it because the Winter Court does everything they can to stop him from coming back. They're the ones who defeated him as one of the first generals of the Grove. if this is cold here, that doesn't necessarily mean it's the Never. I will say that Maria does not feel the tie to the Never here. Next to the tree you did, but here it only feels like there is definitely spirits roaming. The feeling of cold is not natural, but it doesn't feel like the kiss of like your queen, your mother. Like it doesn't feel like when she would tuck you in the Never and somehow that cold was an embrace that you wanted. This feels like cold that is out to consume. Just to help paint
Right.
the picture a little bit more.
Right. Well, then let's go in and see if we can find the source of this and see if the Fawn Prince is actually down there.
So if we're gonna travel through here, I'm assuming one, somebody is carrying your tent set.
Just on my back.
Are you carrying it for him? I'm fine with that because you don't carry a lot of gear. We won't even have to mark anything because it does take up 3 inventory slots to sleep all of them.
Yeah, I would slide it on my backside.
All right. So he's carrying all of your gear. Keep that in mind. Remember that you have the ability to carve monster parts on that. It has herbalism stuff to heal you better if you rest, like take a short rest or whatever. It also is warm. So if you have to camp, Burke doesn't have to try to keep his power up while he's fucking napping.
Mm-hmm.
But while traveling, how far does your warmth go out, Burke?
10 feet around him.
10 meters, I thought.
Meters, so 5 squares around you. 2 meters a square.
10 meters. Mm-hmm.
You are going to be traveling for 2 shifts. So make sure you spend your willpower accordingly to keep everybody warm. 8 hours in is a long trek. The screams fade. The first shift isn't too bad. It is chilly. You get gusts of winds. There are outcroppings that you can tuck into. This whole area has those rail lines. You've not seen any carts, but they go downhill for the most part. And anytime there's an uphill, you can see frozen chains below to kind of pull those carts up to assist people. Not pulley system, not rope, but like chain. Like they've have oversized chain to pull these up. You're guessing the carts must have teeth. There are little areas that you can tuck into. There are some rest points with benches along the way that are frozen. You do see some frozen dwarfs on these benches that have passed through here. With no rolls between the party, you can tell that Drew's right. It is like a flash freeze. These people were doing whatever they were doing, going about their business, and then died in cold. Maria has probably seen similar effects if the queen or the general ever comes on for the Court of Winter to end a fight between in one of the battlefields where this cold kind of encroaches, but it's different. There is a beauty to what the Never does, no matter how it happens. This is nothing but horrific. Eyes have exploded. Blood vessels have burst from the cold. Burns from up to the wrist, or the hands are blackened from frostbite. This isn't normal. It's not like they're frozen in magic. It's like they actually froze to death. When you round one of the corners, it splits into a T. One section dead ends. It looks like it was probably storage, as you see rack systems, but there really isn't a lot on them. Now I'm going to switch our scene. When you round the corner, there is a smell of dead animal in the cold, like rot. If it was in your house in winter. And the walls, you see frozen deer. It looks like they were trying to flee, and whatever blew through shoved them to the walls. Their eyes glow in a faint orange as you can see the life being sucked from them. Their flesh has been chipped away from the strength of this wind, and these humanoid deer are locked in a frozen state on each side of this chamber, this tunnel that you're going down. And you can hear the sound of metal on metal getting stronger as you turn down this huge cavernous hallway. There are many doors locked down this hallway, covered in 6 to 12 inches of ice. And that is the first time the wind hits you full force. And it's almost enough to knock you on your ass. If it wasn't for Burke, you would all be frozen just like the deer passing through here. With that said, to get to the next safe area, I do need a roll from everybody. I need an evaded Bane. What were you going to say, Maria?
I'm going to activate my innate ability of Frostbound Resolve.
Okay. I'll take away the Bane for you then.
And I do have my Tiger Ray warming scarf.
I will take away the Bane for you. It would have been double Bane, but Burke is taking one of those away with his power.
And this is an evade, right?
Yeah, I need an evade roll from everyone as the next gust of wind blows through towards the end of your second shift of travel.
That is my second 10 under 12 this evening.
Ooh. Excellent, excellent. Maria, how did you do? You have no Banes. You should be pretty good, right? Do you need a card, Maria?
No, I actually still have a Bane from my chainmail, but I got an 11 and a 7.
Oh, nice.
And my evade is a 15, so I'm good.
Okay. What about Burke?
I got an 8, a 3 and an 8 with the Bane, and that's under my 13, so I'm good.
Okay. And what about our lovely Elotar? How did you do, buddy?
13 and a 7 under 15.
You're good. And then what about Regder leading the pack?
I got double 3s.
Ooh,
I'm good.
While this is cold,
I saw it coming.
you saw it coming. You felt it. I have been foreshadowing this for 2 hours.
Like, everybody duck.
When walking by these things, once in a while, you do feel like the eyes are watching you, but they do not move. They are statue-esque. And you can see that these are either bipedal or quadruped, similar to your companion with you. Flash frozen, it blew the fur and skin off of them. Down to the bone.
Yeah, I would just be like completely transfixed as we're walking, like almost like a look of horror on his face.
Is anyone searching or looking into these? And I'm telling you, you've seen these things now for 2 hours of travel. That's how many deer got, when the wind blew through, it threw them to the walls. Is anyone searching them during this travel as the sound of the metal on metal gets louder?
Attempt to.
Okay, I need a spot hidden from you. They are frozen. It is at a Bane. But before you make that roll, or keep whatever you rolled, I unfortunately, I do need a Constitution save from you. It's a Constitution roll. Sorry, not a save in this game. A roll is what it's called. No Bane or anything, just a regular con roll.
Oh. Good. That's a demon.
Oh, no.
Constitution roll.
When he walks up to one searching, as you guys are kind of staying near, but he's kind of looking at him as he goes by, one of them reaches out and touches him. And immediately you see his ribs in his side freeze. When he pulls away, it pulls his armor and his skin and all the sinew away down to the bone.
Ow!
Let me do my damage. You take 18 points of damage.
Jesus!
You hear the sound in your native language of run. Another one say save us. As they're crying for help, but until you made physical contact, it wasn't possible.
I would, yeah. You see Fuller just like pull back, almost like screaming. He's like, "He's saying they're telling us to run. They're telling us to save him as well too." And you see him actually put his hand on his stomach as some of his skin starts to heal up. As I cast Healing Wound on myself.
You failed your roll. You are unfortunately sickly now. You have frostburn, which means that you have the condition sickly, which means anything that uses Constitution would be at a bane. Thankfully, your companion figured this out, not one of you. What did you get on your spot hidden roll to search him?
My spot hidden roll. Oh, here, let me roll my spot hidden roll because I failed that thing. And you said that was under a bane, right?
Yes, it is with a bane.
Spot hidden, no, it's a 14 over 5.
No, you're not finding anything walking through. Not enough time. Unless the party stops with you, it's kind of a hastened pace. Does anybody else want to do anything?
He screamed pretty loudly. I think Georgia would immediately turn back to help him.
You gonna try to heal him? You gonna stop here and take time?
Yeah, I think I would.
In the cold, where the wind's blowing through. All right. How do you want to do this? What are you gonna do to heal him?
I mean, all I've really got is the healing stuff. I took the... Yeah.
You mean actually a skill roll, right?
Yeah.
Well, you do have the herbs. If the group wants to take a stretch rest, he could heal some of his wounds, and Georgia can amplify that. Is that something that the party wants to do? Or is Georgia not giving them an option?
I mean, they could go on ahead and we could catch up, but Georgia's
Not unless you want to freeze to death.
And you see him as he's screaming, he puts his hand like on his chest and he puts his hand up like towards you and he just goes, no, I'm fine. And you look down and his hand starts to like almost glow as his skin starts to heal back up.
Georgia, he's actually using healing magic.
But they said to save them. Did they say how? They're still in there?
No, they just said to run and to save them. That's all I could hear from them.
Those two weren't exactly.
Let's stay away from the wall, lad.
No, that's good point.
Are we continuing the march? Are we turning back? Are we listening to the dead Fawn Prince army or frozen Fawn Prince army? Or are we continuing?
I mean, I say we keep going.
All right. As this winds and splits numerous times, there are enough signs in Dwarven that the siblings can read it pretty well. There's some that are going to dead end or go back to the surface. On top of that, with our Elantara friend being able to detect the location, it is deeper in going down. Following this through the end of the last shift, the banging gets very loud. And as you're passing a door, you realize that it is coming from a recessed, about a meter in, single door, nothing too grand, enough for like a large creature to move through. It is frozen shut. There is a bunch of metalworking on the door, like maybe like a grate over top of wood. But the sound is coming from inside, and it is louder, but again, there is no repetition to it, and it is frozen shut. The direction of the Fawn Prince is still further in, but this is definitely where the sound is coming from. And there are numerous paths you could take, but between the three of you, I'm assuming the goal is to follow towards the Fawn Prince and not wander through this place. Because if so, we'll find the Fawn Prince next season. That's up to you guys. I'll delay it all you
There's
want.
no next season if we all freeze to death.
It's true.
Sure.
Do we want to see what that sound is? Been here
So you'll
for
see.
so
Do we
long.
continue?
I'm just wondering if it's tied to what happened.
I mean,
What do you think? I'll follow your lead on this one.
Mm-hmm.
I was waiting for it. Waiting for it.
I'm gonna turn to our young buck. I'm going to ask
Damn it.
if because he's been able to like sense and smell and all that type of stuff. Like I'm gonna ask him like, is there any familiar sense over here, or should we keep going? I don't know if you'll be able to pick anything out, but out of all of us, you might be able to.
Well, that's a good question. Do you want to try to focus on it? You're going to take a minute, take a breather, and focus?
I think I had a small little cask of ale that I brought with me as well, too.
No, they brought alcohol. We talked about this. They brought
This is
alcohol
true.
from you.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's on your back somewhere.
Absolutely. It's with the supplies and everything.
All right.
He goes, yeah, he kind of walks over. He reaches back, grabs a little cask and crushes the lid of it a little bit and takes a few big chugs. Yeah, and then tries to get a feel
Okay.
if this is definitely the
Um,
direction or if another way we need to go.
I will say no roll because of this is one of your natural abilities. The fawn prints did stop here. There are marks deep in the ice that, with some more looking, you can see the scratch marks, but they're been blown over and refrozen since they have been here. He is not here, but the army and the fawn prints definitely stopped here. You can tell that they probably have tried to get into every door to get out of Cold's way. As the wind blows again as you're looking at it, but he is further in. You do feel closer, but not there.
We're not quite there yet. I sense it is here. They were close by. This wind is, even for him and for the army as well, it was, don't know if you call it a barrier for them or not, but they tried to get out, but I'm still sensing that he's further in.
All right. I want to see what's on the other side of this door.
It is covered in ice. It is thick. It's not as thick as the other ones because it is recessed. The wind's kind of blown in, like making that curve.
Mhm.
How would you get in here? With everybody who's here. If anyone has anything to crack ice, move through, do something. Or you can take an entire shift trying to chisel the ice away with everybody to get in. Or if someone's got some form of fucking extreme fire.
Well,
Hold on a
Well,
minute.
I have some like damaging fire spells.
I would allow you to use that.
Okay.
Or ley line,
So-
if you want to try to channel, see if there's ley lines here.
Ooh, yeah, we can do that.
Crack is probably a ley line.
Let me pull up my rules here. I really need to print these when I finish this fucking doc this month.
I've got a rank 1 fireball and a rank 2 fire blast. They are very similar in that one does d6s, the other does d8s. That's the only difference with the higher level spell, really.
I will tell you this ice has got somewhere between 40 and 60 hit points. Looking at the thickness of it.
I would
Yeah.
say to Maria, like, if it's a war between winter and spring, and there's this much ice here, that means winter might be winning in here, right? So that's a good thing from our perspective.
Well, I mean,
It's your
when I said that it felt like winter in the Never Never, it wasn't their presence, but just the bone-chilling cold.
Mhm. But this is horrific. You're like I said, the Never Never doesn't.
No.
That's not quite the same.
Yeah, this isn't quite the same. It was just the easiest equivalent I could come up with.
That ice be thick with a lot of C's.
Right. So from that standpoint, I don't know if it's I don't think they're they're winning. Like, we were the ones who were sent to pursue the Fawn Prince. I don't think that the Winter Court has any agents here.
Okay.
That being the case, there might be something here that the Fawn Prince needs desperately, that he's willing to have his power drained or muted somehow coming in here. But if I don't think it's necessarily behind this if the Fawn Prince isn't here. Like, if there's no signs of anyone else trying to get in here recently.
Just claw marks from deer and maybe the Fawn Prince. That would be like, there is under layers of ice. You can see people have tried to get in.
Tried, but no one. It doesn't look like anyone's gotten in there.
Doesn't look like the door has been opened in God knows how long. Keepers know how long.
We can still hear the clanging coming.
You can still hear the clang, yeah. It's just random. Again, no pattern or anything to it. It is louder here, though. This is definitely the site.
All right. Well,
if you want to try to melt it, I'll give you the rules and I'll let the group decide from here. You're touching the ground, obviously, because you're fucking under it. Ley lines use your action and move. It's a full round. You must make your elementalism or animism, whatever spell you're casting. It is with a Bane. You have to be a Mancer or have the special heroic ability from an organization or a keeper. You're a Mancer, so we don't have to worry about this. You're a caster. If you are successful, you can cast a spell at max rank for 3 willpower. You can double the range, duration, or reroll damage. Don't fail. It gets bad. You can also tap ley lines to regenerate willpower at risk of damage. You're trying to kind of really tap into your magic to do this. If you want to try to melt it, you can. You'll be rolling this spell at a Bane. But because this is magical ice, melting it is only making the hit points higher. You don't have to worry about extra Banes or anything like that. It's just that 40 to 60 range we got to melt away within a shift.
Okay. Then...
Are we going to try or not? Todd's doing math. He's like, do I want to roll this?
A max casting Fire Blast would only do 4d8 damage.
It's a start. You could do it more than once. You just have to roll that ley line roll every time.
Yeah, which is tempting fate.
I mean, that's kind of the fucking point.
But I am pretty much maxed out right now with willpower. I feel like
we have keepers too.
Shine.
We have keepers to get willpower back as well. You can tap. I will tell you, if you fail, you're cut off for the day from the ley lines until you rest. Willpower spell is used up. You take 2d6, up to 2d6 more willpower damage if you fail. Basically, it sucks energy from you. If there is none left, you take hit point damage. If you roll
just
a demon,
to reiterate,
it's worse.
Pulling from the ley line means I'm spending fewer willpower.
Correct. 3 to maximize the spell.
3 to max instead of 6. Okay. All right. Good. Yeah. Let's do it then.
Or you can tap it in a round and not cast and regenerate willpower.
Okay.
All right. We doing this?
If everyone's cool with it, I can try to melt this. It'll be a little bit of risk to me, but you'll.
What I can promise is you won't freeze to death while he's doing it.
I believe that you can do it, Berk. I'll have to trust in you.
Let's start with the first roll. It is 1 Bane. Does anyone else here has elementalism? I don't think anyone does, right? It's just you?
It's just me, I think.
It's just you. All right, so if you're casting and using elementalism, you're fully good on points right now, correct? You have all your willpower?
I have
all right,
all but 2 from the keeping us warm the last 2 shifts.
All right, well, let's do your first roll at a Bane.
All right, I got an 8 and a 17, which is still under my 18.
So which one of your spells are you channeling, and what does this look like as you start fucking trying to melt the door?
This is a rank 2 spell. It's called Fire Blast. It's normally like a single target, just shot of fire, right? Like it starts as a ball and then it goes into a line because it's just that much concentration on it. It's like turn it on a blowtorch.
Yes, when you hit a blowtorch, something it fans out over it.
It fans out, then you just like narrow it down into that.
So with this said,
blast.
You can do one of the following. You can double the range, duration, or you can reroll your damage if you fail. My question is, would you like to add extra damages? Do we want to blow some cards?
I think so, right? If everyone's in agreement.
Yeah, it's up to you.
So 12, burn them up.
All right, so we're gonna want to do a green, blue, and purple. I mean, we got some extra victory points.
What the hell?
So that's a D4, D6, and D8 extra damage on top of whatever you're doing. You can re-roll the spell's damage, not the card damage.
All right.
Let me tally this up. Is the rest of the party, while he's rolling this, are you all gonna be on lookout as he's blowtorching this? All right.
Yeah, my whip is still,
Elongated.
yeah, right, 10 meters right now. I am gonna take this to take a round rest
Yeah,
to get
yeah,
some
absolutely.
willpower back.
Yeah, absolutely. We also have, if anyone's injured, we have emotional healings. We have a couple never-nevers as well, if people have forgotten about that, where you can get a boon versus monsters later on, just so you know, while Todd's rolling his damage up. And then we also have keepers left and add a cost left if anyone has to make a roll, which is remove a condition, but you have a bane on your next evade, basically like sucking it up. Just so people know where we are in case, things get hectic. We'll see. Todd, what's Burke's first roll of damage here?
So the 48 didn't come out very well. It was 17 on that roll total, but
you can re-roll it and keep the highest. Remember, that's part of the ley line.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Get higher, Todd.
Nope, it's worse. It's
Okay.
much worse.
All right, so you keep the first one.
So that was 17, but on the cards, the D4, the D6, and the D8, those all rolled max.
Oh,
for another
nice.
18, so it was 35 total.
You feel another blast or two of that level, you could melt this down. Are you gonna attempt it again?
I think so.
So you spent your 3 willpower, tap a ley line again. Everybody else, can I get awareness rolls from everybody at 1 bane from the sound of the wind? If you would like an awareness card, we do have some left. If anybody would like awareness, so let me go in here. Aware. How many people out of not Todd does everybody else want 1 boon to awareness?
Yes, please.
All right, so that is 1, 2, 3 people, 4 people. So that is Serving Hand, Stardrew, and KJ. We are down to 2 awareness cards now.
Eric, I don't think I can actually use one because I'm actually using this opportunity to activate the Rune Weaver ability.
To do what?
I'm a skeleton and I put runes on me to up my spell casting.
Oh, okay. Well, this is just as a reactionary roll, so you can still have one. Just make a roll for me. There's more to notice things. Everyone's paying attention in the wind.
Okay. This negates the bane then, right?
That is correct. They do wash
So
each other out.
I got a 10 out of 11.
10 out of 11 successful. Not great, but you are successful.
I got a dragon.
Okay, we'll go to you in a minute. What about Rugder? Because I'm going to get some different information between everybody.
Got my team.
Sorry, we had a bane, so it washed the bane.
Yep, so it's just a regular roll.
Straight roll. I did not make it. I rolled a 19.
So Maria made it. What about Georgia?
3 under 13.
Excellent. As you are kind of channeling your magic to get ready, on the wind, you hear the sound of scratching on the ice. Like something is clawing, climbing, but it is a heavy sound. In the wind, it is cold. Very cold. And within that, it is like somebody turned the heat on. First, it feels like it's maybe Burke fucking blowtorching this ice. But the warmth that comes on the breeze is stronger than the fire ley line blast that he is currently doing. It is hot. Like, you ever walk into a store that has the heat curtain? You're like, fuck me, I'm wearing a coat. That is the feeling right now when you walk, when this wind blows through. It goes from cold to warm. Adam, you rolled a, what was that? A dragon? So you get to
Dragon.
You get to mark that skill. That means you get a roll.
Yeah.
Buddy, there is a distinct smell of like burning sulfur. And somewhere in the distance you hear shattering. Could be the ice, but it has that kind of noise, like something. And your little fucking extra ears you got pick up this shattering noise. No other noise behind it. Extra, yeah, he's got human ears and ears. Yes. You know that it is not the Fawn Prince. It's not like his odor or anything like that in your dreams. With that, I'm going to have to ask Burke, how did he do on his next roll?
Hey, can
All
I
right,
say I draw
so-
my bow?
Sure. You drew your bow.
Right after a full like blast, concentrating, pulling from this ley line, and it's like, okay, all right, I got this. I'm zoned in, or zeroed in the zone, ready to go. Pull it again. I gather the energy. I give it a blast. Have to roll with a bane. I rolled an 8 and a demon.
You know, just before the show, we were talking
Good night, everybody.
about mishaps. That's a demon. That's bad. Let me get to this. That's right. That's right. The fucking sound of failure. That is Disturbed's other song. It was a B-side. You're welcome. Let me find. I need this page. I need mishaps. All right, sir. Can you roll me a d20? Actually, no. No. I'm sorry. Audience, can you roll me a d20? What am I saying? I would never make you roll that on yourself. Let's the audience do it to you.
Good.
Yeah, we're doing it live. Fuck it. That's correct. That is correct. Todd's like, fuck, I'm so screwed. Audience, give me that d20 roll. But this happens regardless. You rolled a demon, right? What rank was your spell, buddy?
I did. Max rank. I mean, it's a rank 2 spell.
So what did you cast it?
Three levels. Three.
So rank
all three of
3?
them. Rank 3.
I need
Is it also
3d12
rank?
for the audience as well. It's d12s and failure. It's risk reward. 13. Ley line mishap. The spell blinds you as your eyes burst into flame,
That makes sense.
as if in total darkness. Every morning, you roll a d4. On a 1, you recover. This can be lifted with a dispel. You guys all watch fire pour out of his eyes like geysers. And then I need 3d12 for the damage he takes because he's tapping a ley line.
3, 7, 10.
God damn.
Here's-
So Burke is channeling the frenzied flame from Elden Ring.
Oh, it's horrible. Yes, horrible. It's horrible. So we got what? Was it
14.
a 7, 8,
14
9, 10,
total.
14 damage? Here's the problem. It starts in willpower, carries the hit points.
Oh no.
Are you still up?
Sorry, could you repeat that damage? I don't think I heard you right.
14.
14. Willpower and like you're over channeling.
14 willpower?
Willpower and whatever's left goes to
Alright.
health. That's how over channeling works. Which is a normal thing. Anyone who's a mancer or a caster in Dragonbane, if they run out of willpower, can tap their hit points.
So I had 6 willpower left, and then that takes another 8 hit points on top of that, but I'm still at 10 hit points.
You're blinded, marked down every morning, you roll a d4. That's when that will go away, or someone can cast a spell to have it. As his eyes burst into flame.
Points.
Yes.
Jesus.
In the area, I
My
have
hit
to...
points are horrible.
I unfortunately have to ask the party, does anyone have any languages that are not common kin languages?
Teenager, no.
You don't know shit. You can barely fucking braid your hair, obviously.
Hey, my hair looks great.
Does anyone have any odd languages that are not kin languages, that would be like different languages in Ethauntia?
Hollow. That's it.
Sylvan?
Okay. Nope, nothing. What about our skull-faced friend?
Sylvan?
There is a sound in the wind that literally, if sound could stop moving, like you're dragging something across, it begins to emanate
Record
from the
scratch.
fire out of Burke's head, out of his eyes. Burke, that was 17 points of damage. You know, I feel kind. I'm going to add that to the ice damage. As your eyes ignite the fucking ice on the door. Feels right. What does the party want to do?
Go home. Like I said, when I first got here.
The ice seems almost melted through. So close.
Can Georgia cast Tarfire on it?
If you would like to, are you wanting to channel the ley line powers too?
No.
The hollow scald?
No.
Nah, we're good.
I mean,
Nah.
you don't have. Well, she still does have eyeballs.
She
But,
has
I
a
mean, your
candle.
head's already on.
She has a candle. Yeah.
Possibly a homicide.
Wow.
That was for serving hands. and
Wow.
for support.
Wow.
If
So what's your
casting time is a reaction?
It'd be a regular
Can you shot through
cast. It'd be a regular cast for
Okay.
you. Allie has blue flame star drew in her mouth right now. It's not green. It's blue now because she has a different fire after making some life
Yeah,
choices.
She's Spearman, not Wintergreen.
Yeah. What is your cast? Is it a?
Oh, yeah.
Did you make it?
It's a 13
Okay.
under 15.
All right. So give me your damage.
Yes.
Do you want cards for extra damage?
Yes, please.
We'll do it at
That's
a cost.
4
from
damage.
Star Drew. That's not enough. We'll use that. We'll use a Dark Secret card. Do you want a purple too?
Oh yeah, let's go.
I will do a victory point as well, which we use for our hunts. Which, man, what's your damage with the D4, D6, D8 added to that?
You said D4, D6,
D8.
D8. That is 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 10 points of damage.
So what was your first? 4?
No, that was including the 4.
So total is 10 points of damage.
10 little points of damage, yes.
Cool. The door is... You can almost touch the handles. Maybe someone could try to break the rest of the ice open, or you could do more damage to it. What do the other party members want to do?
I say I've got my bow drawn from that, and I just look back at it, and I spit at it as I cast flick, casting 1 point of damage on it.
That is not... That is... I mean, I'll add it, but no. Oh, no, I won't. No, I won't add it. It gets sucked up by the ice.
Oh, come on, it's 1 point.
Yeah, it's got armor. It's ice.
Damn it. I spit really hard for 2 points.
Burke is fucking not doing well. Maria, Rector, anything either one of you want to do? Has he still got fire slowly diminishing from his eyes now? It just burns sockets.
But do we already have one person blinded now, and your sister is a little tapped out, potentially. How badly
don't-
do you want this open?
I feel like now if we don't do it, it's gonna be a fucking waste.
Well, and
his
you're
eyes
in the
are
middle
gone.
of the cold that just turned warm, and now the wind is cold again.
I don't. We don't need to. We can keep going. I
mean,
We're opening it.
the audience
I'm
is
gonna-
right. He could just fucking deer kick this door.
You know what? Yeah. Buck hooves on the door.
Ninja kick the damn rep.
Does that, and he just backs his derriere up there. Boom! Kicks it with both of his hind
I need
legs.
a strength roll from you.
Strength roll.
Or technically acrobatics.
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 technically.
Ooh. Well,
Oh, Grax support for
acrobatics
being
is a
nice.
5. I rolled a 3 under 5.
Nice.
Well, remember, you have a. Oh, you're not old enough yet. You kick the door open. It shatters. I'm going to change the scene. The wind blowing through begins to warm again, and you feel a hot blast of air coming through. Inside, materializing and immaterializing, there is this forge room with a furnace, slate walls, and an oversized dwarf. He's more of a human statured dwarf than a normal dwarf. You don't see his legs at all, and this spirit is striking a hammer on an anvil. But there's nothing really being made. And he's not even using a full hammer. He's just got almost like a wand as he is striking the end of this metal rod. Switch the scene on the background so you can see him. And once in a while, he'll reach over and grab coals with his hand and hold them over the metal, which is the silence in between. Take those coals off and put them in as you guys are flowing into this oversized chamber. The wisps of his ectoplasmic form kind of billow with the fire and the wind in the room when you open the door. There's no eyes. He doesn't seem to have legs. He's sitting on something, you guess? Are we all coming in and shutting the door?
I would usher everybody in.
Yeah, I would definitely go in and probably kneel.
Are we shutting the
gonna
door?
help- I'm gonna help Burke come in.
Okay, so you help Burke in because he can't see well.
bring
Yeah,
it
you give him the shoulder. Fair.
I'll shut the door behind everybody.
Oh, you shut the door behind you. There is no lock on this side. There's no castle or anything. They shut and they kind of hold in position. You do see foot pieces on the bottom. You can kind of shove to wedge the door, but just enough to keep it shut. It doesn't have a full-on lock here. It looks like this is usually open. And in dwarven around the room, in the ice that still lightly covers this room, you could see that this is a public forge for travelers. This is a spot to if you need to craft something, do something. This is a way station for people. But the spirit that is here looks like a Crimson Peak ghost. It's got the skeletal body to it. It's emaciated, but it is probably 6 foot tall as a dwarf. It's a larger version. And they're working just with this metal thing. They do not seem to notice you. Locked in their work.
Eric, does this bear any resemblance to Brugh Underpeak?
No, not from anything you
Oh.
know.
Okay.
Not from anything you know.
Okay. Huh. Interesting.
You said he's using a wand on the end of.
Yeah. It's like a metal wand. It's decorated, but it's very basic. And he's got a long, slender piece of metal that he's hammering with the wand. And not. There are other tools. That just happens to be what he's doing. And he's striking it, and it is flattening the iron or whatever metal that they are using. Burke, eyes burnt out of the socket, blackened. Is it safe to say you're gonna kind of let him take a stretch to see if he can get some of his willpower back?
Yeah.
And is Georgia going to tend to him before talking to this creature or whatever the fuck this spirit is?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So we start pulling out stuff to tend to Burke. With that said, what is your skill in heal?
I believe. Let me see.
What's your total?
14.
14. Would you like... first, make me a roll. It is with a Bane. when you're looking at his eyes, they are crusted over and around, almost like charred wood, like sealing his eyes shut, like carbon. And there is a deep smell of sulfur that everybody else can smell. Georgia picks up when she's close, and it fills her skull, and the candle does whatever the candle does.
I'm sorry, everyone. I got overconfident. I haven't been myself since we exited that house the second time. I'm pretty sure that everything that's happened since then has just been fever dream as I lay dying somewhere in that house.
I mean, hey,
I
look,
don't think any of this is meant to be, but we'll see it out to the end anyway, I guess.
look, I've already done that to Diana and Adam and Drew and Fenrir Rising. I don't need to do that again.
This is how Berg's coping. His power
It's
has
coping
gone
back- it's
to
his coping
shit
mechanism,
after
yeah.
getting out of that damn thing. He's just gonna assume this, like, let the keepers take the wheel. Maybe I'm dead somewhere, and this is just
Okay.
the final sparks in my brain. I don't.
Georgia, you got one Bane to medically treat him. It's definitely not a
Well-
normal wound.
I'm going to patch it because I got a 19.
All right, one patch for Georgia. First of the show. Give me a roll.
Yeah. That's way better. That's a 4 and an 8 under 14.
How many health are you missing right now?
None.
No, not you. Him.
Oh, I was like, what?
The
Um,
person you're pat.
You're about to do some transference
I'm-
bullshit? Like,
No.
I'm down 8.
All right, so we can use 8 emotional heal cards to get you your hit points back here. Those are from Serving, Starju, KJ, Healing. Oh my god, who just did that? That is amazing.
I made that a while back.
That's amazing. And then Allie and Serving Hands cards. So you get all your hit points back. Would
All right,
you
Thank you.
like to tap into a keeper to get some of your willpower back?
Ooh.
Would you like to call upon the
Yeah,
keeper's
just-
eye?
Can I just do a normal rest to regain willpower?
I mean, there's a goddamn
wanna-
gigantic dwarf ghost here. Do you feel like taking that time?
Yeah, I can't see that. I don't know.
Touche, salesman.
Okay, cool. You're like, I'm gonna rest here. Everyone's like,
I just need a minute.
It would give you a D4 back.
All right, yeah, that'll work.
All right, you get D4 back.
Better
We'll
than
use
nothing.
KJ's. Use Kelly's. Paying it forward.
3. Okay.
All right, all right. And then I'm gonna fill one of these up one. Okay. Dwarf is still not, even with the healing.
One spell on me, folks. One spell.
What's going on? The dwarf does not notice. The spirit does not notice you're there. Once in a while, you see little puffs of other spirits in the area, but they don't manifest. You just see energy of them, and you're guessing there must be other workers that are here, but you don't see them. What's the party want to do?
And we start with the myths and legends or an occult roll.
Sure, 3 Banes.
Oh, okay, never. Well, we've done it before. I'll do it again for occult.
Which one? Cult? Okay.
I'll do myths and legends since I think I'm the higher.
Okay.
I'll assist with myths and legends.
So take one away.
I'll keep the door closed.
I'll park my butt in front of the door. Is getting cold again, just so you know.
My butt is cold. Oh god.
The fire in here is fake. There's no real fire. It's all spectral.
Lie.
The fire actually, I take that back. The fire is real. The fire would be real. So we'll start with Georgia.
What is that?
Hey.
No, fail.
That's a no.
All right.
That's a fail.
What about Maria? Maria.
Myths and legends. I actually got my highest die roll was a 12, and I've got 15
Okay.
in myths and legends.
Okay.
So.
Nice.
Yes. This is you're guessing a spirit, looking at the stuff around the room, of Iron Peak. Like the ancestor, or maybe Iron Peak himself. He is a keeper. So maybe this is an avatar or a vessel or someone who passed Well, you know that when they were forging to give themselves extra strength, they would undergo magic to make themselves larger to be able to forge at a greater strength.
Okay.
Like Drugar?
Very similar.
Well, I share that with the class.
Hey, class.
I'm pretty sure this is a spirit of Iron Peak. Maybe he's
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. Grundar
Spirit.
Iron Peak, Keeper of the Mountains.
maybe he's been touched by the actual keeper, or maybe it's like an avatar or something. We know that the keepers tend to split their powers among everybody.
Mm-hmm.
This I guess they use to channel from the books that I've read. They channel their power to make them bigger, make them stronger, so they can forge things more efficiently. So
That is correct. Yeah. That's the best summary you can give.
based on what you found in that jeweler's shop or office or whatnot, maybe you're related to him.
That's just what I was thinking. Oh, Eric, can I retcon something real quick?
No,
I would have taken the wax seal kit that was there.
it's no good anymore. If you want just like the seat, like the
Stamp.
mark, yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay. What is that? What is that heraldry of? Is that Iron Peak?
It's Iron Peak.
Okay.
It is Iron Peak. Okay. Cool.
That being the case, you or Georgia are probably best equipped to engage with this spirit.
Georgia's gonna kind of give Regular like the tiniest little push and be like, well, I think you do have something that needs forging.
I do, and this could be the.
It's not what I had on the table, but okay, I'm not opposed. Are you gonna try to talk to the
Yes.
spirit?
Yeah.
You're going to have him try and reforge your sword?
If he's the one who made it to begin with, I can't think of a better person to do it.
I mean, that's unknown. That's an assumption.
Right, but
I-
he's of the Iron Peak clan.
He is.
This is like
I mean, you got to talk to him. I'm not giving you any
Yeah.
more fucking clues or hints or anything. Burke's busy rubbing the fucking charcoal out of his eyes.
I would perhaps ask if it's your ancestor.
well, no,
Potentially.
I mean I'll take whatever thoughts on this you have. This is none of this is my area.
I was thinking if the Fawn Prince is trying to get in here, there might be something that was used in the wars to put him down. Maybe the dwarves, maybe someone from the Never Never came to them to ask for assistance in building something. If this really is an avatar of Iron Peak, and even if that's not the case, maybe it could help us craft something to aid in our task.
I was thinking the sword might have been it, but
I don't know if the sword is it. Maybe it is. I don't know. But if it's not, maybe we can pivot and ask for assistance with that.
Do we want to try to talk to it?
Regdor will kind of he'll you see his posture changes. Georgia would see this and know, why do you look like you're about to talk to Dad? Like that's
That's the stance. Yeah.
that's the stance.
Yeah.
He's gonna move anything out of the way that would
There's nothing.
block line of sight to his clan dagger on his body, like his personal one.
Oh, like you're fucking Cold clothing? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he'll approach the anvil.
When he approaches the anvil, he hits once and stops. And he lays the object that he's working down on the coals at the opposite end of that anvil. Looks up, and like you see the hollowed holes in his face kind of narrow, like he's trying to see what's in front of him. In Dwarven, he says, "Is there something that the shop of Iron Peak and Barak can do for you today?"
Aye, clansman. I am here on a specific purpose. We are trying to thwart the efforts of the Fawn Prince.
I don't know anything about that, but you are hard to see. Can you lean further into the light, young lad? My vision's not what it used to be.
I'll step a little bit closer.
You step in closer, he leans in as well, but it is like missing frames, and he's here.
Uh-huh.
I need a will save, or a will roll from you. 1 Bane.
Okay.
No one can really assist you with this. Set this over here. Please don't topple. Thank you.
Will 1 Bane.
1 Bane.
Ooh. Well, a 7 and a 14, so I just made it.
That's equal to or under. He locks eyes with you, and you can tell he's like searching for who you are. There is a warm presence that washes over you, which is a nice relief from everything else. But you don't, whatever ability it has, doesn't affect you. Everybody else around would see Regdor lean in, and the spirit just kind of vanishes and reappears close. This is a young lad. You bear the mark of a Barak. Don't recognize you.
I'm from a little farther down the line, if you will.
How far do you mean?
Probably add a few greats onto whatever you want to add for cousin or kinsman, or I'm young, we'll put it that way, compared to you.
Ah, a short beard. Well then,
Aye.
what can my humble way station do for you?
Well, if you don't have any knowledge of our foe, and I'll kind of look back at Maria, and just kind of like,
Oh, you're
shrug.
yeah. You can turn away. I didn't get the gaze on you, so you can turn away and look. I don't know of this fawn prince that you're talking of. He sounds like something that belongs over a spit more than a friend.
Hey, it's a foe from across the veil.
The only foe we've been dealing with recently is the one coming from the Mirror and his army.
The mirror. I mean, like, is it a pond or something?
We opened
an actual mirror?
We opened an area into the mines. Unfortunately, our salamanders didn't detect what it was. You think we found some ancient worm's old home? No creature there anymore, but when we started going through the area, everything flashed cold, froze everything.
We saw some of that coming in.
Everything shook. Well, we don't know what happened, but it got dark, immensely dark. I heard screams everywhere. I shut my doors and continued forge, and to be honest, I don't remember talking to anyone but you since then.
Oh, I see.
There'd been
Well,
knocks
count
on the
myself.
door, but they never came in.
Hey, Well, I count myself lucky to be able to speak with you.
I mean, if you need anything, and he goes to like grab a mug, and his hand just keeps passing through it. And he makes the motion, but it's still on the table to his right. Like he's not able to get it.
Well, since you're here and you look pretty competent.
Oh, I'm sorry.
maybe-
The body is larger than normal. I practice in magics to make myself larger so that I can forge objects for our golems. It makes it easier to make larger weapons, shields, armor plates. I don't need as much assistance.
Aye, that's smart. Aye. Clever too. Well, if you want to take a look at it,
It's what?
I'll pull out the pieces.
Put him on the anvil, son. And he grabs the metal piece and he puts it in the fire and it ignites. When it's in the fire, you see two eyes in the fire. Misshapen, not human, but they are in the fire. And he leaves whatever the metal piece is, which is real. He leaves it in there.
Okay.
Put down whatever you got, boy. I'll see what I can do. How bad is the damage?
It's literally in pieces. I've got all 6.
Oh, jeez. By the gods. He does say gods, not keepers.
Uh-huh.
Let me see what I can do, boy. Make yourself at home. I'm gonna need a little time.
Why?
And he starts grabbing and the pieces float and the rest of the party can see him manipulating, I'm assuming, the sword.
Uh-huh.
And he starts manipulating the pieces and lining them up, and he reaches back into the fire and grabs that long metal piece and flips it over and puts it down and starts heating with the wand. And he starts working on whatever it is you gave him. It may or may not turn out because you just gave a broken weapon to a fucking ghost. So we'll see how this goes.
Okay.
Audience, I need 2d20 from you. He already has 4 Banes to repair this item. He has a 17 in craft. We are rolling with 2 Banes. One bonus we're getting because of the forge. The other is because of his talent. He ignores some problems. So that means we're rolling with 1 Bane to try to repair this over the next shift. Which means that Burke gets to rest for a shift if you're going to stay here. Are you going to keep opening the door to stop? Wow, that is as close can get on the 2d20.
Jeez.
Are we going to keep opening the door to make sure it doesn't freeze over?
Yes.
Do you like keep cracking it once in a while over that shift?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would keep doing that.
While that is going on, scurrying by, and I do mean scurrying, I'm going to put something... Oh, I didn't mean to do tactical. Please take that off. There's no tactical map for this scene. I'm going to add an NPC for you all to see. As these frozen-like creatures can be seen scurrying by outside and pulling back deer parts.
From the frozen deer?
Yeah, they go all the way in, and they grab frozen parts and bring them back. Let me grab my image for these little shit birds.
Shitbirds. Oh, damn it.
Yeah.
Shit clock's ticking, Bubbles.
I wish I could click. I wish I could
Dogs are
type.
coming and they're flying in.
Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can
Slow.
put. Let me see if I can search it. Yeah. Let me see if I can. Nope, can't do it. Damn.
Something's fucky.
Something's fucking
I was
wrong.
gonna say that.
Let's try it on here. See if I can pull this item up. No, it didn't work. Damn. Damn. Well, I can go back to the deer picture and pull them.
That was a pretty cool picture.
Well, I have them on this page, so I can share them with the party. Or so I thought. Maybe I'm a liar. Oh, I added these today. I'm angry. None of them come into the room while you all are kind of checking the door, opening it, closing it, that kind of stuff. But they do look at the door when they run by. You can shut them. They're unable to open them. Boy, they're not pulling up. I don't know what's going on here. I might just have to.
Little shits, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to re-add it manually here, everybody. I'm sorry.
They're so fast.
No. I have them. We're gonna fix this now. I don't know why I had a problem with Alchemy earlier. I had to reboot it. Unless you are gonna go out and do anything with them, they move in swarms. Like I should say swarms, groups, not swarms, groups. There's anywhere between 3 to 6 of them, and they are small.
Okay, I would say every time that I crack the door, I would try to study them the best that I could, or at least to watch them.
Okay. You can do that. Can I get a beast lore from you, or myth and legends, and a bane?
Yeah. Oh no, that's a 13 over my 7.
All right, let me send them to the thing, and I will put them on screen.
Ew.
Gang, the Gifu this episode is just fantastic.
They are winged creatures. They walk kind of bipedal, but they have long arms. They're emaciated and frozen, almost skeleton, like really, like sucked in emaciated skin, almost skeletal-like. He doesn't know what they are. Anyone else who has a beast or has a myth, you can make a roll. But it isn't a bane. Anyone who's looking outside, you have a full shift to like to rest. We will be resting for a shift if we're staying while he's crafting, or you could leave. But I mean, Burke's kind of fucked up right now, so.
Yeah, no. Oh, wow. I made it. Rolled a 9 and a 10.
They are known as frost scales. They are believed to be some form of elemental, a creature from another realm.
Frost scales.
What did Maria get?
Let me roll for myths and legends.
Yep.
That was cocked. I didn't get it. I got a 16, but my myths and legends is 15.
You feel like you've seen them in storybooks, but you don't know anything about them. Definitely not from the material.
Right.
I was going to say, do they come from the Never?
Don't know. You just
Don't
know what
know,
they're called. They are hostile, though. They're scavengers.
I've heard of them. They're just their description. Frost scales. That's all I know.
I mean, I'll give you one question about them. Is there anything I'll give you an answer to something. What would you like to know? I think that's fair. You made the roll. You know their name. You want to know the most prominent thing about them besides scavengers? What do you want?
Yeah, the most prominent thing, sure.
They're born from melting ice.
Huh.
Like the process of ice melting, or do they come free from the ice when it melts?
They are born from melting ice. The process of melting ice creates these creatures.
A lot of that happened.
Yeah, I was going to say, is it like...
That's all you know? They're not eggs or anything like that. Like, they're an elemental creature that is born from melting ice.
And they're scavengers.
They are scavengers. For meat.
They're born from the process of melting ice.
Mm-hmm. And I would say over the course of the shift, while everyone gets a rest and the smith is working on stuff, you've seen, I would say, groups of 5 go out, grab them, come back once an hour at least. So there's somewhere around 20 of these fucking things scouring through the halls, picking up the deer that have been frozen to the walls and bringing them back. With that said, everybody will get 1 full shift of rest. Burke, you need to roll a d4 unless somebody has a way to remove your blindness, which I don't think anyone has that spell.
Pop out his eyes. He wouldn't be.
That is not a solution in this game.
That was burned eyes, you know.
So it is a 1 and a d4, and you get your vision back. You want the audience to roll for you? Want them to be responsible for your vision?
Yes, please.
Audience, roll a d4. On a 1, he gets his vision back. The rest of you, it's a full night's rest. You get your willpower back. You get your health back. You'll be able to tap ley lines again because it's a full shift of rest. At the end of that time, he finishes like welding this sword together. It is whole. You can see the lines on it of where he's kind of forged it back together. He says, boy, I got it back together. I used the same materials. And it is functioning and solid. But if there was, lad, any form of magicness to this, I cannot re-bestow that. This would take someone of a skill outside of mine to bestow magic to it. The wand that I have to help me repair things swiftly did meld your metal whole.
Well, I appreciate that. It being the Barak blade, as it were.
I was going to ask you a question. Why is the Barak and Iron Peak symbol on this weapon? And when he holds it up, one side of the blade, now that he's welded it together, while he says he can't re-enchant it, everyone can see in the right light a glimmer of the Barak symbol on one side, and the other side has the Iron Peak logo on the blade, like about a quarter of the way up. Is this a shimmer to it?
Take it from him and hold it like, well, it feels good.
It's heavy, but you kind of expect it to be. It's made to be weighted, to chop. He says, you're gonna need a scabbard to carry that, or you're gonna cut your fucking legs up.
Hey.
I have some leather you can wrap it in. He reaches for like leather on a roll and pulls, and he just can't grab it.
I'll go over like, oh, thank you, and I'll pull it off the roll.
Yep, you can pull, cut, and you can kind of wrap it, and it gives you a full cover for it. He says, look, if you make it further into the Iron Peak Kingdom, there is a master forger there at the Titan Forge. It's much larger. It's made for making our golems that we produced for years with the assistance of some elemental properties. They may be able to fix it for you, but ain't nothing that I can do here. It is usable. It won't break on you now.
I appreciate your work. Thank you.
Why is it, I hear other people who've been talking, but I only see you. Is there other folk here?
Aye, my companions.
I see. Will you tell your friends, if they ever need anything fixed, Barak Waypoint, I'd be happy to repair any of their goods. Metal, leather, doesn't matter. Myself and my children, all capable. You see no kids here.
No children. Well, thank you.
I'll be warned, it gets a little cold in the off seasons through here. The wind blows chilly from the depths we've opened up. But whatever you do, stay away from any of the signs and runes that give you warning. We've tried our best to close off those sections, but you know how it is. Tunnels be tunnels, and sometimes new ones are found.
Dwarves be dwarves.
You know the routine. Good luck to you. You're welcome to stay as long as you need. There's no beds or anything, but if you and your friends are trying to take a respite, you're welcome to. And he pulls that iron piece back out and starts tinging on it again. And it's almost like he falls out of sync with anything around him.
As he's doing that, I'm going to say, brother, what's your name, by the way?
As he's fading away, he says his name is Bringar. Bringar. As he fades away, both the tools drop on the anvil. But the piece of metal stays hot, and the wand doesn't disappear.
If he was Bringar, he made this sword then.
That is correct. He don't remember it. Drew
So the
took
metal
notes,
stays hot?
everybody.
So the metal stays hot and the wand stays too?
Yeah, they don't. He vanishes, and that's all that's left behind is the anvil and those things. The room cools down. The fire dies out over time, like nothing's keeping it warm anymore. And he disappears.
Pick up the wand.
Okay. It is smooth, has a slight hum to it, like it's constantly being struck on an anvil. You have no idea what it does without more time.
Right. And you said the metal doesn't.
It stays
cold?
hot. It doesn't. It is constantly like molten hot on the end. It's a pretty long bar. Like I would say it's probably half of a quarterstaff. I guess big because he's big,
Yeah.
but it stays
Like
hot.
3 feet.
Yeah, about 2 meters.
Is it?
I mean,
like,
1 meter.
Is it?
1 meter.
Is it? Like how hot is it on the end? That's
I
not
would
hot?
not
Like,
fucking. Oh, it's still warm, but I would not touch the other end, or you're gonna fucking cook
Well, yeah.
yourself.
So it's a magic wand, and it's got a.
There's a magic
Breaks
wand
into it.
and the metal. There's 2 separate pieces.
Yeah. I'll take them both.
All right, the material you're gonna have
Hitachi on
to
it.
you're gonna have to carry the material. There's no way to really
Yeah.
house it anywhere. Looking at
Yeah.
it, after scrubbing some of like wiping the soot from it being used for so long, and everything else, it's white fatalis.
Oh.
It is light. It doesn't weigh a ton, but it does not cool off. What it would look like is if a soldering iron was medieval.
Yep.
I don't know how you're going to carry that. I guess you're just going to carry it as a torch and drop it if you have to shoot your gun.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Are you going to rest another shift, or are you going to rest here until Burke gets his vision back, or are we going to continue as we get into the show here with him being blind? Do we want to rest more until he can see, or push the fuck on?
We want to give
I
it
think
one
I don't want
more.
to be a burden. I don't want to delay us any further.
It does say he needs a shift of rest before he gets to roll. It can't be just a shift.
We might also remind you that you're the one who's been keeping us warm and quite possibly alive for this
Hey.
entire time. I think we're okay with one more shift to get your eyesight back.
I mean, it might.
No guarantees. I might be like this for life. Who knows?
Look, there's only one episode left. You'll at least be that way for one more episode.
Oh no.
If we don't need it.
Life.
So I'll give you a couple options here, man. If people are gonna tend to you, if Georgia can give me a medical roll at 2 Banes, and we'll use a medical science dice from Serving Hands. If you can be successful in that roll, I'll make it a 1 and 2 on a D4. If you're gonna take another shift.
Can I do a heal wounds on him? I feel like that would help.
Nope.
Right. That's what I
Doesn't.
would think.
You can heal his hit point
Doesn't do it.
damage.
Okay.
I will say, Burke is the first time you have felt healing magic in God knows how long. You feel rejuvenated. It feels good. There's a smell of floralness in the air for everybody, specifically for the person being healed. But Unfortunately, Allie does have to make this roll. Georgia, if you can get me a medical at a Bane, be successful.
1 Bane?
1 Bane.
Okay. We have a 2, and then this one landed on a corner because it got wedged between dice. Let's find out. 2 and...
A demon?
I'm so sorry. Burke.
Oh. As he
demon.
is resting and you're working on it, and he rolled a 2 if you would have... You want to... You can't patch a demon, that's right.
Demon.
As they're working, it is crusted over. The coals are hot to the touch. The carbon that is on them, it is not comfortable to touch as you're working to get over it. As the doors have been opened and closed over the next shift, the wind outside has become warm. It is no longer cold. It is like hot breath. It's wet as it blows through the halls. Another shift goes by. He's still unable to see. At the end of the shift, is the group going to stay as we close our show? One more night for Burke. I will say I am filling a clock on the side for the shifts that we are taking, because it's just a passage of time.
Mm-hmm.
So am I.
Yeah. Clock of blindness. Do we want to stay for one more to see if we can treat him, or do we want to push on?
Perfect scene.
I feel he's been incredibly nice and helpful. I would not mind staying longer for a chance for him, but I don't know how much longer we have to wait and see what happens, because the air is changing too.
I will say you do feel the fawn print still in that direction. You know, you can focus during that shift. You do feel him still. But it is getting warm. Now you're slow. Your travel won't be slowed. He just, when we get into combat, will be blind, or into situations we're seeing is required.
The longer we wait, the more dangerous things will be regarding the pawn prince. So I think we're just gonna have to tuck me in along with the group, and I can bear well enough. Just let me know if I'm about to walk off a cliff or something.
Is that the game plan?
I offer my hand. Do I have room for him and the supplies on me? Am I big enough for that?
Yeah, if you would like to ride your back, you are technically old enough to be of full age by the end of that rest. When you all look, this deer is full-sized, which means you have your final stats.
Good.
Pause for wig edit.
Right, wig edit. But yeah, technically speaking, he is larger. If you could ride him,
Would be all right.
ticks and all.
Too cold for ticks.
Yes, that's true.
Getting warmer.
It's getting warmer. It is getting warmer. But yeah, if you'd like to do that, I would say that would definitely take a little bit of the load off of you not being able to see.
I offer my hand to you.
You can't see it, man.
That's
You gonna
right.
ride on? How much do you trust the
grab his
enemy?
hand.
Well, when we encounter the enemy, I'll let you know.
Aw, how kind. As the group packs up to travel, please cast your spell for 1 willpower to give heat for everybody. As we're wandering through the glowing pick, as you wander through these winding tunnels, following the dwarven directions. As you get further and further in over a 2-shift walk, I would say I'll give you 1d4 roll while you're riding on the back of him, because you can kind of rest. You're not doing anything. Audience, give me a d4 roll. It's only a 1 because there's no way that she's tending to him at the same time. If we get a 1, he'll get his vision back during these 2. If not, he won't get to see the grandness that I'm about to put on screen. As you wind through these
Taking
passages,
out my earbuds, I just
right? Yeah, just go like this. As you wind through these passages, there are signs that are starting to be written in another language. Nope, still blind. It's not just Dwarven anymore. There'll be Dwarven and another language below it. The Dwarven says mine closed, and then a little further in, again being told this is the right direction. War is inevitable. Please do not pass this point. Do not pass this threshold. You keep getting more of this. The language underneath, no one has seen before. It's chaos. No one has seen before. And you get to an opening that is large and fairly grand in scale, like a hole in the floor. I want to be able to share this with you if it'll let me. Does anyone have spare torches or anything, or the ability to light something that is a pretty good distance below? Is you kind of like, it's like an opening in like a big cavern that's been carved into. They put struts in. The doors are open. They should have been locked. You can see broken chains on one of the doors. You see another one where they broke a castle to get in. This is obviously the direction that the princess went. And it opens up into this huge room with a hole in the center. Like a cavernous hole.
I can light torches within 10 meters.
Within 10 meters. Does anyone have any spare ones you can throw down?
I'm looking.
That would be your best bet. If you have something you can toss into the hole.
I don't. I only have my war lantern.
I don't have one either.
I mean,
got
I have
a regular lantern.
the one I was using. It probably would have gone out by now, honestly.
Yep, it's already gone. Nothing. There are stairs that go down.
Are there any unlit torches on the wall?
Yes, but they are frozen over. The room is dripping water right now from the ice being melted. These torches, even if you were to thaw them, probably aren't any good anymore.
Well, she can light it magically. We just need a torch.
Did Todd just put on black shades? Son of a bitch, I just noticed.
Yeah, he's had them on for a few minutes now. I'm gonna take this white fatalis piece and melt one of the torches free.
It will melt it, but it's waterlogged and unlightable.
Okay.
You would have to get a fresh torch to be able to do it.
I'm gonna hand the torch. I'm gonna put it in Eric's hand. Like, Eric, can you cast your light spell on this?
Sure.
Does a light stay with the object? Is that how that works, Todd?
Let's see. Light.
All right.
The bright spell. Kind of hard to see this. Light. Create a bright light that shines from a focus of your choice. So yes, it would be cast on something. It could be any item.
Okay. Give me your roll to cast it.
It's a magic trick, so it's just 1 point and it's automatic.
All right, we'll make your one point cast and you drop it down. As the camera pans back, as it watches the torch with this magical light drop and hit. Below, it catches a few things on the way down. All the water melting off the ice further down that it goes. This is probably a good 3 stories down. As it finally clangs on the bottom and sheds light, there is a mirror with the reflection of the Fawn Prince locked in it, along with a gigantic skeleton on the ground. I'm going to share an image to the party. I'm also going to switch our scene back to here. And I am going to put Winter's Hold. I'm going to share it to the party so you can see it as well. We have never had this on the show before. None of them have ever been seen. as this large frozen skeleton of this lizard-like creature can be seen frozen to its treasury below. For scale purposes, you are guessing this thing is the size of a small village. Curled up, no meat really left, but there is a breath coming from it as it is slumbering. Anyone who's been around for Ethauntia knows that we've only seen one other of these things before, and we don't know if it was real or fake or a dream or the Lady of the Tides. But dragons are not a common thing in Ethauntia. There is technically only one of any variety, and most of them aren't even on this realm. With that, as the cold comes out of its mouth, you see all the frost freeze, and all the ice and water freeze, and then there is a burst of light that comes off of the mirror, and all of it begins to melt, and as the droplets hit, you see those scavengers form.
Ugh.
There is a shadow of the fawn prince in the mirror, pounding on it, trying to get out. To the left of the mirror, there is a single lever to turn the mirror, like flip it over to assist you. We'll end on the look of Drew's face right now. For those who watch Dragonlance, you may have an idea of what this is. I know what Drew fears. For everybody else, our last session is coming up with episode 13. We'll be ending in the horde of a dead Nodaric cryptid. Does anyone have anything fun going on this week before we do any announcements for EFP? Allie, how's that sweaty skull mask feeling?
Pretty awful.
Yeah? Does it feel like a mistake?
I mean,
Yeah.
not doing the research and turning into a skeleton? Probably.
Does it feel like maybe
I did the research.
not on what you're wearing? Now you know what Adam and every time Adam wears a mask or does anything, I was like, Adam, you're gonna die by the end. So anyone have anything fun going on this week before we do our experience really quick? And we are not doing secret time tonight because there is some stuff I had to talk to the cast about without audience after the show.
Secret.
Anything special going on? Oh, buddy. All right, everybody.
Next week.
Todd shirts. For those who don't remember, Todd put out a new shirt for everybody. You can find it on his site right now. The rest of you...
Spooky games on Thursday.
Spooky games on Thursday. If you don't have Space Marines, get it and play with the rest of us. And I'm going to cut over to me, everybody. If you are watching this after the show, this is a little bit longer session because we only have one episode left for the season. And our party has stumbled into the only Dragon's Lair I have ever had in the show that is real. I would like to remind Drew that this dragon is technically sleeping. In case he has any smart ideas. If you're watching this afterwards, down below, leave comments if you have any guesses. If you've watched Dragonlance, if you have an idea what that fucking mirror is, let me know. For the rest of you, there's shit to click here. You know the routine. Pound that subscribe button like, I don't know, a bully in high school. And we'll see you tomorrow as we prepare Corpse Talk in the afternoon, because we're going to be bringing that back online as soon as our season is over for Ethauntia. Until then, everybody, you know the routine. Unfortunately, the tides will find you. Like in a dragon's den. What could go wrong?